Just finishing some rollout procedure here for our 15 and 16-year-old competitors. And we're also just coming live on the stream. If you're tuning in and joining us online, thanks for tuning in to watch some racing here this weekend. It's the first session of Fred's Race, our regional championships at the Velodrome. Riders from all over coming in to Marymore Park to compete for a variety of events. They're trying to medal individually, of course, for lots of different race formats, and there's going to be a team award for the entire weekend for whoever's team does the best throughout the entire competition. This is indeed the Fred's Race annual tradition here, the Fred C. Raberger Memorial event that we put on for the last several years in memory of our good friend. And of course, the saying always goes, Fred would go. We got some pretty big numbers this year. I think it almost hit our record high for number of participants overall for the weekend, which is always exciting to see. We'll be getting started here really soon. We'll finish this rollout, get some riders together for a quick meeting. We'll be ready to start this thing off. For those that are here in person with the kids that haven't signed up for the Kitty Kilo, there's still time if they want to get a fun lap around the track. Kitty Kilo tonight will be the second event during the schedule. It's going to come up pretty fast. So if you'd like to participate, you need to get registered now. Come over towards the beverage garden area. There's a velodrome table with some folks ready to get you signed up right across from where we're selling some merchandise if you want to support the velodrome another way. Get some cool looking swag for the JBVelodrome. It's got our logo on there. We got a lot of different offerings over there at the table, the tent, ready to sell. And that's a signal to start the meeting on field. Please, riders, gather up on field for a rider meeting. Riders, gather up on field for a meeting. Thank you. All right, as we're breaking things up from the meeting, we are going to start with our very first event tonight with the Madison for the Elite Men. And with that, I can officially also welcome all of you to the beginning of racing tonight. Welcome to Friday Night Racing. It's the first session of Fred's race. This is a full weekend championship for our region on the track. Starts right now. We're going to be finding out our champion teams for the region in the Madison today. We've got a 7x5 format that the riders will be competing in. You can already see as they come up to the rail, you'll be able to tell what the teams are because they're going to be wearing some matching jerseys to identify who they're riding with. I'll get some information about the race for our spectators out while these riders are in the neutral, and we'll get this Madison started here real quick. And off we go. Our first race getting started. These are the riders in the race. We'll get the relief riders going here soon. And both riders from each team now on the track. The riders over in turn 2 are in the neutral before the race starts. We'll get them started out of turn 4 if they're still together as a unit, and we'll get this thing started for them. The riders that just came off the rail, the relief riders, are their partners. You'll see throughout the racing action tonight with the Madison that these riders will work in tandem with one another by tossing each rider in, a quick little handheld, and then throw the other partner into the race. And then the rider that was in the action gets to take a quick breather. So the overall speed in the Madison typically pretty high as both riders get lots of recovery opportunities, lots of attacks, lots of tactics here in the Madison. And we'll get things started here on the home straight as our field's all together and they get the whistle. Racing underway. Team 8, Hi Mom. Christian Miller making his appearance at the track, wearing bib number 8, gets this first lap going fast. Team Yellow looking to maybe get a first exchange on this first lap, and it's not going to happen. We'll try again next time. The attack is high here from Christian Miller on the opening effort. The way the Madison's going to work for these riders today is that we're going to do it like a points race. So 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the lead riders on certain laps. You'll know when we're in the sprint when there's a bell, and I'll probably be making a lot of noise over the microphone too to let you know that we're sprinting for points. 7 opportunities separated by 5 laps each for a total of 35 laps in the competition. That's Hi Mom again on the front. Our red team is drilling it here to start things off. Nolan Adams gets tossed in by his partner Christian. He's on the front now. Team LOB, Team 2 swinging into position. Gets the nice toss in here as that's John Bowie tossing in his partner, Tyler Nolde, who's trying to match the tempo now of the rider off the front a bit. That's number 4, Team 4, Andy Baker. Getting a nice toss in the back in an important moment here as we're getting a lot of energy from the front of this field, trying to sort things out and maybe thin this field a little bit. Arnoldi trying to keep it quick. He's now on the front of this group of 4. Matty Hers was tossed in by Andy Baker on the back straight. That's the rider in number 1, second wheel position for the ride group team. Looks like Yellow trying to make a critical exchange on the back as well. So I believe that's Chris Wilson currently in the action, trying to find his partner. That's the Broadmark team making their exchange on the back and trying to hold on to a very busy exchange on the home straight. Lots of teams getting fresh legs. Andy Baker is trying to get a quick hand here so he can be on the sprint. Matty Hers gets to him on the back end, so he's got a long ways to go as the bell's ringing. These are our first points in the race. The Rockets get thrown in for Found Cycling, the riders in green. Riding today for the Lake Hills Montessori squad, number 5, I believe. Indeed, it will be the Lake Hills Montessori team for 5 points. LB for 3. Looks like the ride group, team 4, gets 2 points, and our yellow team, the Broadmark squad, will pick up 1 unofficially. Here's the front of the race, as it looks like Brandon Russell is teaming up with Richter to make the green team of the Lake Hills Montessori jersey. They lead the race in position and in points. The 2 teams right behind him also in the points right now. So if you got your gray team with 3, should be 2nd overall, and the team wearing number 1 for the ride group is in 2nd overall with 2 points, or 3rd overall, pardon me, with 2 points. Couple exchanges here to keep things moving quickly for our lead group of 3. It's yellow in pursuit, trying to hold on to the tempo of the leaders right now. Leaders hitting turn 4 just now, coming onto the home straight. Leaders getting the bell, 16 to go. Points next time. Another critical exchange for team 1. At about the same place we saw Andy Baker get tossed in. He'll toss in his partner, Matty Hers. He's got a fresh set of legs, so he's going to try to make the attack as the exchange is happening behind him. This is going to put Brennan Russell in a tough spot. Team Green trying to get back up on it. Nice move from Hers and Baker to time the exchange and the speed. Our rainbow color, the trans flag colored flag of the ride group, number 1, picking up the 5. Lake Hills Montessori picking up 3. LOB in the gray for 2, and it looks like our yellow team for Broadmark is picking up 1 more. Sorry for the missed call earlier, too. It is indeed 25 to go, not 15 to go. So a bit of action here as the leaders may be catching on to Team High Moms shortly. So you'll see Red making an exchange on the home straight. Leader seeing 23 to go. That's team 1 at the front of the race. The team in the lead is still the green team with 8 points. Team 1 in second, 7. The team in gray, team 2, is in third with 5 points. The yellow team with 2 is currently sitting in 4th overall. The bell rings again for some more points here at 21 to go. Your lead group catching the red team, so bringing them down. So really the lead 2 teams, you've got the team 1 on the lead position now. Making the big move here is Andy Baker trying to get away from the riders in green. Trying to find 5 more and the new leaders of the race. Team 1 leading now for ride group. And here comes the toss in for our second place team, the Lake Hills Montessori squad, now just going under the Greg Cycle sign. Team Red down a lap, still able to get points there though, but they're trailing. I believe Yellow will be the next team to pick up points if I'm not mistaken with the placement. So Broadmark's starting to kind of crawl their way back into this thing. They were a bit off the pace, but they're now in a position where they can at least continue to get points. Indeed, it is Team 1. Ride Group in the lead with the points, sitting currently with 12. Our green team pursuing them closely with just 1 point behind right now. The Lake Hills Montessori squad number 5, again, just trailing by 1 point in second place. They have 11. Tyler Arnoldi and John Bowie, the gray team, have 5. That's the yellow B squad. And finally, the yellow jerseys, Chris Wilson and Carl Hofer, sitting in 4th with 3 now. Team Red did pick up 2 points on the last sprint, but they did lose the lap, so they're in the negatives now. When a team or individual in a points race loses the lap to the field, they lose 20 points in the process. A bit of sitting around next to each other for a second there. A little bit of medium tempo here from the leaders gives the chance for, look at this, Broadmark coming right back into it. That's Chris Wilson closing the door down for that lead that the leaders were enjoying. He's back in it. So as the bell's ringing, Yellow is in a really good opportunity here to start chipping away at the lead of these two teams in front of him. That's Chris Wilson with the light helmet trying to challenge here down the back straight. Hers and Richter, though, very strong next to each other. It's still Hers down the sprinter's lane with a good advantage. He's got the shorter lane, and it looks like he's on the way to pick up the 5 here on top of Richter for the Lake Hills Montessori team. It will be Maddie Hers for Team 1, holding on to the lead, 5 more points. Lake Hills Montessori team, number 5, picking up 3. The yellow team picks up 2, and it looks like 1 more for Team Red as Christian Miller comes in there. All right, so the call as made should match up with the records, as Team 34 was in the middle of that, not eligible for scoring during that sprint. This field of riders going under Greg's cycle sign is indeed the lead of the race. Team 34 down the lap, but should be back into it now, I believe, after being caught here. As Andy Baker moving ahead with team number 1, your leaders for the race, now with 17 points. The team on his wheel with 14 points. We have a tie for 3rd now between Team Gray and Team Yellow. And considering where Team Yellow is in the race and where Gray is, I think Yellow is going to be holding on to 3rd place here after a few more sprints. As they're now with the leaders up at the front of the race and in position to get points every time.
And at this moment, we need Kitty Kilo riders to start staging. So if you're a Kitty Kilo rider, you need to come in between the grandstands and we'll start staging.
That's right, the kids are getting featured here early on in Fred's race today. So we've got Kitty Kilos and we've got Camp Velo graduate group. We're gonna have a fun race with them as well to welcome them into the track racing community. We'll do that shortly after the Kitty Kilos finish up. And we'll be back into some more Madison racing. All right, let's see where we are here on the home straight is our lead group of 3. Another exchange here for Team Yellow as the bell's ringing. Carl Hofer gets the toss in from his partner. So he's at the lead of the sprint now as Yellow's in a position they haven't been all race, really showing off their endurance and their ability to kind of claw their way back in. An impressive effort from the Broadmark team in the yellow jersey all the way back. They're almost a half lap down, it seemed, for a while, and then the two leaders were sort of kind of watching each other and gave some space for them to close back in, and they were able to do so. Brennan Russell for 5 in the green jersey. Yellow jersey picks up 3 points. Team 1 picks up 2. Next team to cross the line gets 1. That's going to be team 34, I believe. There's a warning to team number 5 for interfering with an exchange. Warning, official warning to team 5 for interference with an exchange. And the leaders in position right now is Team Yellow. Chris Wilson going on the attack. Again, impressive here overall the way that this team has ridden back into the race, and now they're also trying to continuously instigate from the front, as making it as hard as they can for the teams to stay with their pace. Looks like green is going to be able to close things back down. But after that most recent sprint, we got a tie at the top as our green team and the rainbow colored team both matching up at 19 points apiece in the lead of the race. Team Yellow does take over third place on their own now, with Arnoldi and Bowie falling down to fourth, still at 5 points. Seven to go for the leaders, 7 to go. Right now it's a matchup between Team 1 and Team 5, so they're going to be the ones watching each other closely because they are in an absolute dead heat at the moment, 19 points each. 2 sprints left to go. The final one is worth double points, 10, 6, 4, and 2 on the final sprint, so we will keep track of that and how that'll impact the outcome of the race. Team Yellow is not currently threatening a top 2 finish. Doesn't mean they're still not going to try to find every opportunity they can to compete, as here comes another exchange at the bell as Chris Wilson's coming in for his squad. Andy Baker trying to get on his wheel for Team 1. Every sprint matters here for Team 1 and Team 5, as this is the difference between a gold and silver in this Madison, between how these next 2 sprints play out. Really good position and timing here for the exchange on the back straight for Team 1, and they're making the big move for 5 all the way around Yellow. Here comes Matty Hers with a big turn of speed. He's going to go high above a couple of teams, picking up 5, Team Yellow for 3, Team Green for 2. Team 1 picking up some nice points here. And that'll put them now in the lead alone. Ahead by what should now be, I think, 3 points ahead of Team Green. The Lake Hills Montessori squad now sitting in second. 4 to go. One more chance to sprint. It looks like Team Gray's been caught, so they go down the lap. Red caught again. Your leaders now with 24 points is still Team 1. In second with 21 is Team 5. That's the green team. And in third, no surprise, is Team Yellow with 11. So the 3 groups that have kind of set the front of the race, of course, are in the top 3 positions. The question is how will Team Green find a way to claw back into it, as they've now lost a few points after that previous sprint? They've got to place very well here and hope that Team 1 somehow isn't in the top 2 places of this sprint. It is possible if Team Green wins this next sprint, gets the 10 points, even if Team 1 is right on their heels and gets 6, that's not going to be enough. It'll be a switch back to Team Green for the win. If Team 1 finishes ahead of Team 5, the green team, no matter what place that is, as long as they're ahead of them, they should be the victors. So that's sort of the way that this has to play out now. And here's that bell for the final sprint. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. Here comes the move down the back straight. The exchange going to be really critical here, as it looks like Team 1's going to try to throw somebody in. Richter's on the big move. Andy Baker being tossed into the last second, has to go pursue. If Richter gets this, it's Team Green on the top of the podium. Andy Baker's chasing him down, though. This could be close. Ooh, this is for the gold. To the line, Andy Baker's got good acceleration. It'll be enough. Team number 1 takes it. Just enough time on that exchange. I was thinking maybe they didn't get there early enough for the exchange on the back straight, but enough acceleration from Baker and a good toss in from his partner gets there in time. They'll hold on to the top spot. Team green second for Lake Hills Montessori, and Broadmark yellow in third. All right, exciting stuff. The Madison, we're gonna have more Madison racing after the kids featured here. We're gonna bring out a lot of juniors coming up. We start with the Kitty Kilos. We've corralled them over there next to the grandstands. We're gonna bring them out in groups to have some fun racing on the track. Following that, Camp Velo riders, we're gonna wanna get you guys ready too. Here comes our first group of little tykes onto the track. All right. Good times. Yeah, we've got this kind of a tradition around here at the Velodrome where we bring out the kids onto the track. You too can sign up a young rider if you know somebody that might have fun out here on the track. It's totally free for the kids to sign up. Most of the time, it's the first and third Friday of the month.
All right, and we have our push bike class here, and you're just going the straightaway. Are you ready? Say yeah. No, nothing. Ready, set, go!
It's like staring into the sun, you know? Here they go! I know, we got to warm up those hands, folks. Get them going. You only get one chance to cheer for these guys, and they're all done. Yeah! Nice. All the way. Crushing it. The push bikes and the training wheels looking so good. 135 is trying to take the whole field now. That's good. That's good. You're good, 135. The yellow helmet's going to go all the way across. It's in watching the Tour de France. Yellow means speed. I got to go. All right. Here comes our next group up. Bike's getting a little bit bigger. Going to go all the way around the track one time. So as I was saying, we do this usually on the first and third Fridays of the month throughout the summer. So you can kind of count this as an annual thing. We've been doing it for a long time. Let's get this next group started. It's ready on the track.
All right. This next bigger kid group is going to do one whole lap. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Ready, set, go!
Woo! Down the apron, down the apron. There you go. It's safe to the left. Go left, go left. There you go. Nice job. Woo. Oh. I know, it's so enticing to go up onto the hill. It's like, it looks so fun. Whoa. Look at those feet kicking on the back straight. Corner 3 and 4. I mean, look at those feet. They are just churning away. Whoa. Gotta love that. Whoa, look at this on the home straight. Nice racing. Look at these two. Whoa, great job. Wow, very good. Here comes some more down the home straight. The big crowd here. Nice. Nice job. All the way to the grass. We're ready to go. Woo! Nice work, guys. Excellent racing. This is just one phase of the kid experience around here. We'd like to quickly plug Camp Velo just a little bit. We're going to talk more about them later, but if you're thinking this might be a cool future for a kid or you have an older kid wanting to get on the track, we do have opportunities for that. You'll get to see some of the recent graduates from our junior camp today racing for a little bit, and I'll talk a little bit more about those opportunities for those kids then. Nice riding. I like the combination of like fashion show and like kind of waving at mom and dad. It's too good. Nice. I think I remember the fireman's helmet from last week. That's just ready to do two jobs in one. You're safe on the bike and in case you're needed somewhere else, you know? Ready to jump up at a moment's notice. Into the grass, great job. Here comes our next group. It sounds like we're going to bring out another group of kids. Looks like we might have two more groups to bring out. Just one giant one. Nice, I like it. One big field. That's some very angsty music.
All right, we have the even bigger kids. Get them in here, get them in here. We got a couple more sneaking in. Come on over. This big kid group is gonna do one whole lap. There's a few push bikers doing a bonus lap back there, so just watch out for them, okay? They just kept riding. They didn't want to stop. Are you all ready to ride? All right, here we go. Ready, set, go!
Woo! What a great start for the kids on the front there. That was awesome. There's something uniquely wonderful about having like a bunch of riders starting all at the exact same time, and it's even more exciting when it's a bunch of kids. The tires are going everywhere, but they all manage it somehow, you know? It's pretty remarkable. The yellow jersey. It's July. The yellow jersey's got to go fast. That's the rules. Okay, the fast finisher's already coming in on the home straight. Heads up. Here we go. Nice job. Whoa, out of the saddle form. Nice work. Woo. Nice moves. Yeah. Woo. Nice work. Into the grass, kids. Good job. Nice. Look how fast these big kids are going. Camp Velo is coming up next. So Camp Velo riders are getting staged. Heads up for a few more of our fast finishers here from the Kitty Kilo. All right, we need all the kids to come back around and finish up. I got at least one more errant push biker having some fun on the back straight. Camp Velo graduates are next. We're going to get you set up on either the home straight or the back straight. Hopefully you've already gotten that information on where you're supposed to go, and we'll get this thing started here in a second. Once we get all the kids around too, we'll try to get you off the track quickly.
All right, I think this is our last Kitty Kilo participant. We're gonna cheer really, really loud. Bring her to the line. Come on, you got it, you got it. All right, we're gonna turn you around and we're gonna get all the kids out through the gate, and we have stickers for everyone. So everyone make a mass exit back through the gate. Stickers for everybody. Great job, kids. Fantastic. Yep, head all the way out there. Dan in the blue shirt has your stickers. Go all the way out. Stickers, stickers, stickers.
One more round of applause for the kids and the parents. Thanks for joining us today. Great job, all of you. That was fun to watch. The parade of kids. Staying active. Gotta love it. Appreciate you coming out here today.
All right, Corey, gate is closed. Do you want to intro this race?
Sure thing.
Kelly will get the names in a second.
Okay. So we got two groups, one on the home straight, one on the back straight. These riders got introduced to racing this last week here at the Velodrome. They took Camp Velo, a 1-week track class, and part of what we do here at the Velodrome is we welcome our new juniors into the community by putting them in front of an audience on a Friday night and cheering on, saying great job for a great week of learning. And here you get to celebrate with a fun race in front of the crowd. So the two riders are going to take their laps, 1 lap per rider at the front. When they're done with their lap, they'll actually fall off of the field and be done. So they'll go around for 2 laps each time, and we'll cheer on both teams and just hope for a great and fun race for our new riders to the track community. Who do we got in the home straight, Kelly?
Straight, we have.
Uh-oh.
Boo.
Okay, there we go. On the home straight, we have Alex, followed by Izzy. Then on the back straight, we have Tegan, followed by Gavin.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's hope our young riders have a great race. It looks like both sides are ready.
I think we'll say riders ready. Are we getting a whistle? James, go and blow your whistle whenever. And go!
Off we go!
Go, 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 go!
Okay. Slight start advantage for the back straight, but that's okay. So each rider takes a turn, and once they've done their lap, they'll pull off out of the way. Trying to do our best to stay together helps with the rider in the second position not to work so hard. So the back straight doing a nice job riding close. Good for them. So on the back straight, this team that's now on turn 1 will be done. The team on turn 4 coming on the home straight is going to be down a rider, and they'll take one more lap. 1 to go. 1 to go. Lead rider's done. Yep, pulling up. Oh, okay. Green helmet still going. There we go. There's the move. This need a little longer to process. It's like, I had to do this again. A lot of information this week. Make lots of noise with the back straight team. We're not going to see him again. Half a lap to go. Nice job. Great position on the bike. Look at that. So our team here tries to teach the kids, especially about safety. They got to learn the rules of the track, but it's really all about controlling the bike in a safe way and having fun doing it. So we work them through those things throughout the week. You too can sign up a young rider for Camp Velo over the summer. It's a week-long experience. Registration is still available on velodrome.org. And both teams finishing up here. Nice job to both our teams. A slight advantage on the start to the back straight, and they hold on to it throughout the race. So great job to both squads. And welcome to Racing at the Track. We hope to see you again for more racing at the Monday night junior nights, where riders can come out and compete in junior age-based racing. Camp Velo is a 9 to 15-year-old event, so 9 to 15-year-olds that are looking for an excuse to go ride their bike a little bit more and get a good workout in the summer, have some fun, and be a part of this track community. We got the way to get you in. Camp Velo, sign up through velodrome.org. Coming up next, the elite women and the juniors racing together in a Madison. Looks like we got 4 teams registered to compete. We'll get these riders up here in just a moment. The elite women and junior competitor Madison coming up next. All right, great to see so many people out here at the Velodrome cheering on our riders. Great to have you here tonight. If you are a new person here at the Velodrome, hopefully you're having a good time and want to come back for some more. It's Friday nights, every single week, 7 o'clock, as long as it ain't raining. We're doing this racing thing. This is a special week and a little bit of a different program than we usually do. This is Fred's Race. We're doing our regional championships on the track here at the Velodrome. And speaking of which, we're ready for our next championship event. We're going to bring out the elite women and juniors for the Madison. Now, this gets a little confusing when you're doing medals because we're going to have a race within the race, as there are some competitions going on within it. Riders are competing against a field that may not necessarily be competing against them for medals. So we'll talk a little bit about that while the race is going on. We'll get this thing started at Madison coming up. All right, the riders in the race getting started. Relief riders coming off soon. All right. Relief riders away. So the riders in the race to start are on the back straight. If you were here for the first race tonight, you saw Madison already. Currently in the neutral, they'll start them out of turn 4, and then if you haven't seen this race before, you'll watch these teams, which are matched up by the color of their jerseys, exchange during the race. So one rider will be in, the other rider out in what's called the relief, getting a chance to catch their breath and get ready for the next big move, which tends to make the overall speed of each racer a little faster since you get that moment to rest. We're going 25 laps in a 5x5 points race, so 5 times to sprint. And there's the whistle, so racing is underway. Here's our riders in the race, getting things started. They're saying 25 to go. Team Purple. The Chamois Butter Squad number 6. That's Henry Kaiser, who will be competing in terms of the medals as one of the junior men category, I imagine. As he's in this group. He's got a partner who he doesn't go exchange yet. It looks like his buddy over there is going to be waiting for the next time around to get the exchange. Here goes one of our first exchanges for this group. It's Danny Scoville chasing in Kelly Darlene, 2 of our junior women. Team 1 also throwing in as Jenna Lingwood tosses in Amara Edwards wearing bib number 1. So your lead group down the back straight, this group of 3 working together now. Chamois Butter, that's Will Fowler, gets tossed in about a half lap back, and he's now in the lead of the group. Now Fowler on the lead of this effort with Team 1, the Rainbow Trans flag for Ride Group, second position. It may bear well for Team 1 as that same colored jersey did win the Elite Men Madison, so maybe they're thinking they get a little bit of good luck by wearing that. Oh, and a missed opportunity for our junior squad. Kelly's got to stay in a little bit longer, coming in hot on the exchange. Didn't quite connect, so Team 4 is going to hurt for that one as the Gilchrist Architect team, light blue, is now in hard recovery mode. Jenna Lingwood takes advantage to get right back up onto the wheel, so Team 1 closes down this gap quickly. Kaiser gets tossed in alongside of Jenna, and now it's going to be Team Purple in the lead again. Team 1 will slot into second position, and the light blue team is still reeling after the missed exchange. Points next time around for our 2 lead riders here will be 5 and 3. They're battling between the chasing team, number 4, currently in position for 2 points if things stay the same. Scoville's waiting for her partner over in turn 2. We'll see if the light blue team can make the exchange this time and get some fresh legs as Scoville's ready to go. Up the front, though, nice attack here from Purple during the exchange, which leads Team 1 to try to cover back up and not quite to make it in time for 5. Purple in a good position for the first 5 points. Will Fowler in on the action. Amar Edwards for her team picks up 3. And you can see the impact here on Team 4 as they just now cross the finish line from the missed exchange and kind of getting off the pace of the leaders. And this is not surprising in this field, considering, again, the mixed grouping that we have going on here, that things are going to get pulled apart pretty quickly. So now it's Team Purple starting to kind of set their tempo. The junior men competitors, Fowler and Kaiser, well acquainted with each other as they are teammates on the Jerry Baker Junior squad. Also well acquainted with each other, Jenna Lingwood and Amar Edwards, partnering up here to be Team 1. And again, Team 4, 2 members of the Jerry Baker Junior squad, Scoville and Darlene. Darlene now in on the action. They're competing in the junior women's competition. So Team 6 still in the purple, the lead of the race. As they catch, we're going to call riders down a lap. So Team Red getting caught, now officially down the lap. And on the home straight, another exchange here for Purple. Bell next lap, it looks like it's 17 to go. Your race leader is on the home straight. We're still working on a better solution out there for the folks that are watching and tuning in on the stream to try to get a little bit better quality upstream going on. It's particularly bad on a night like tonight where we have a concert going on. All that cell coverage going on, it kind of competes with our internet here. So we apologize for that. We are now getting the habit of re-uploading on nights like this, so we will re-upload the race in full 1080p at nice quality for you. So if you want to re-watch later, we'll have it in its best quality later, we promise. Team Purple getting the late bell, but they're on the sprint, 4 points. They're just going to keep going at their tempo. They're not having to worry too much about the sprint right now as they're well ahead of the competition. Here on the home straight, Team 1 getting the toss in real quick here is Jenna Lingwood now picking up the tempo. That'll be our team second across the line as we stand now. Scoville and Darlene connecting here. They're the third team on the track. And here comes Purple for their 5 points and continue to hold on to the overall lead. Lingwood hitting the home straight in a great effort here to pick up 3 points. Team Red does pick up points here. It's going to be 2 for Team High Mom. And Blue just in front of being caught here. They're going to get the 1 this time. It looks like Purple's going to try to snatch them down a lap here as Fowler catches on. On deck, we have the 15 to 16-year-old juniors in a scratch race. 15, 16-year-old junior scratch race is on deck. The leaders just saw 13 to go. So we still got a bit of racing here to go. As Team Purple, the Chamois Butter team, is on the lead of the lap. That's Henry Kaiser now in on the action and getting tossed in turn 3, hitting the home straight now. Your leaders in both points and position on the race. As they continue to catch teams, they go down a lap. We'll continue to kind of count them as the front of the action all the way around. They have caught Team 4. They have not yet caught Team 1. Starting to close that down a little bit. When it comes to the direct competition for medals, though, it's basically an uncontested for Team Purple. More of the junior men got to show up to compete against these two because they don't have any direct competition in this field for the medal. On the back straight, you got Team Purple getting awfully close to the back wheel of Team 1. If they catch, that would be putting them down the lap. But again, the competition is between Team 1 and Team 8 in the elite women. So right now it's Team 1 still in a gold medal position despite being caught here. And that'll put one down the lap officially, as now Purple sitting in front. Good high-speed exchange there down the back straight for Team 6. Oftentimes, the longest duration race we do in a race program is this Madison, because as you can imagine, if you've got shared power like this, two riders working together, the overall speed of the one racer, because it's basically two people serving as one rider, is a lot more. So you're able to do some bigger distances and overall some pretty big speeds. But one of the challenges is getting enough people to sign up to make fields, because it's a grueling race, long distance, lots of sprints, lots of effort, and a lot of coordination. You have to sort of learn how to move in and out of the field. You have to get comfortable with the exchanges. There's some technical aspects to it. Team 1 doing nicely here to keep on the pace of our leaders. It's still Team Purple as the lead of the lap. They're looking to catch red again on the back straight. Team 1 making the exchange as Lingwood brings in Edwards. If you're out there on the stream, I know it's kind of choppy right now. We appreciate you watching. You know what we do around here. We're working really hard to make this thing as successful as possible. By the way, if anybody knows anybody out there at any of the data providing sort of conglomerates, we could use some more help securing better internet here. We'd love some help with that. However, if you're still appreciating the effort we put into this and you're out there watching the stream, don't forget to leave that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button as we continue to march on our way towards 1,000 subscribers and looking to continue to build this channel and extend our reach as much as we can. We really enjoy bringing this to folks everywhere and anywhere so they can watch the racing, learn about track racing up here in the Pacific Northwest, keep people educated and excited about racing track bikes. Number 6, or team number 6, gets the bell. Team 4 does get called down the lap as that's happening. So I believe they will be eligible for the 3 points coming up as they're called down the lap. Team Purple looking to pick up 5 again. Team Blue should be on their way for 3 points this time. Team 1 looks like they're currently in position for 2 more. Here's Purple for the 5. On the last 5 laps of the effort here. Team Blue, light blue for the Gilchrist Architect team, gets 3. Team 1, 2 points. And the red team will get 1 this time. Thanks, Aaron. I know it's not all bad. We have high standards around here, you know? We're trying to improve this thing. But thanks for tuning in, Aaron. Appreciate the positivity. It's always a challenge on these concert nights when we've got all that extra data flying around in the air. On the back straight, Team Purple continuing their march towards the finish. Team 1 with the exchange on the home straight, seeing 3 to go. Two to go for the leaders. 2 to go. Coming up next, those juniors for the scratch race. Be ready to start. Warm-up circle's yours if you want to use it. Junior 15, 16-year-old juniors again for the scratch race. Coming up in just a lap and a half here. On the back straight, our leaders going under the Stanley sign. And they will be getting the bell first as they catch Team Red. Once again, and now we're in our final lap. It's 1 to go. Warm exchange for our lead team here on the back straight. Riders, as they cross the line, are continuing to get the bell, so the teams coming across the line on their final lap. All right, how about this? Put your hands together once for Team Purple. Overall, our champions in their category as well as the overall winners in the race. Nice job for the junior men. Team 8 finishing up as well. Zamley Alexander comes across for Team High Mom. It'll be the Gilchrist Architect team coming next to the line. That's Danny Scoville racing along with Kelly Darlene. We'll take it for the junior women competition today. They're finished up. And one more round of applause for Team 1, our champions for the elite women coming here. As Amara Edwards will finish up for her team. All right, all riders should be off the track here, coming around and exiting on the back straight. Next group to the rail, junior 15, 16-year-olds for your scratch race. 15, 16-year-old juniors for your scratch race. For the medals, there is 2 medals going on within this race, both for the junior men and for the junior women. To make a good field, we brought them together to race. We will score them separately for the purposes of the medaling later today. Juniors now getting set for an 8-lap scratch race. All right, getting everybody lined up here again. We got juniors. You got a good look at it. If you're on the stream, you got a good walk down the rail to see all of our competitors today. Great looking group of young riders. If you just saw the Camp Velo stuff, you saw the Kitty Keels, this is the next level for that. The juniors that stick around after a Camp Velo experience, they keep racing. This is our 15 to 16-year-olds competing today. So some of them have been racing out here for just a year or two, others for 3, 4, or even more years than that. We're gonna get them started here with a scratch race in just a moment. And the rollout is given for the neutral. Off we go. We're going to start out of turn 4 for all together. 8 laps of a scratch race. In case you're not familiar with the term scratch race, that just means, you know, the race you all know. You start, you go till the end of it. Whoever's at the front wins. Straightforward enough. It's all about speed and tactics and planning and all that stuff. There's no points or anything else to get in the way. Just a nice, solid race to start things off here for the young riders. And how about this? 9 young riders making a good-sized field of just 15 to 16-year-old competitors here today. Again, when it comes to the medals, there will be scored a little separately. There's going to be a competition for the junior men and the junior women scored separately from each other. Despite that, racing together to make this nice field of 9. And the whistle signaling that racing's underway. 8 to go in the scratch race for the juniors. JC Pyle, number 331, will start things off right away. Try to see who's ready to race this evening. Of Corner one knows what to do. They make a little bit of applause as the riders go by. That's right, the juniors appreciate it. All of our riders appreciate it. One of the great things about watching this live in person rather than being on the stream is they really can hear you making some noise. So if you see something exciting or you want to cheer one of the riders on, give them a little bit of help. JC Pyle's trying to win this thing right now, it looks like. He says, I'm going to go. Off and away goes JC. 7 to go for 3-3-1. The rest of the field, that's Merrick Gallagher looking ahead, number 328. Doesn't want to let him get away too far, so he's starting to pull this field back into the moving along, trying to make sure they're not letting JC get away too far. As you see now, he just hits turn 3 on this very early attack. Surprised he's still on his effort here. This is a big move for the young man off the front. 6 to go. JC still holding strong. That's Danny Scoville now in pursuit. She just got done with the Madison, still catching her breath from that event. Number 10 gets right back in on it, though. You can see a lot of the riders wearing very similar colors. That's the Jerry Baker Juniors team. You can learn more about them at jerrybakerjuniors.org. They are in partnership with the Velodrome here. Now more than 40 young riders strong and continuing to grow and sending lots of riders to nationals. Starting to see some success there as well as a couple of champion jerseys over the last few years and hoping for a few more this season. JC just wanted to ride a time trial today. 5 to go. It looks like it's an easy way to win. There's no one to race against, but there's no break for him. He's just got to stay in his effort. Otherwise, he'll find himself caught. So an impressively hard way to win the race. His most direct competition in the field. Looks like he wants to get things going. As Merrick Gallagher says, he's gotten too far away. I think I'm going to have to go do something now. Logan Lee, the rider in the black, white, yellow jersey, he's riding for the Broadmark team, is trying to keep on the wheel. JC crossing the line, seeing 4 to go. And our chasers just now crossing the line. The riders in the chase, 2 of them, trying to make their way up to the leaders now. A big move from Merrick Gallagher, the rider of the red helmet. Again, he brings along Logan, who says, I'll do some work with you. Getting close to the end here. 3 to go. JC's still at the front. Just trying to stay nice and consistent, nice and loose in the upper body. Fall into that tempo. Keep the pedals spinning. Merrick Gallagher starting to catch him a bit, though. The rider with the red helmet, motivated to get there. Logan behind him. And all the way back here in turn 1. The field. JC recognizing that the gap is closing a bit too fast, so he's going to sit up. Gallagher keeps going. That puts JC on his wheel. Logan still in the pursuit now. 2 to go. Let's see where the field is right now as we look back over at turns 3 and 4. Our junior women here going head to head in this grouping. Looking around, trying to see who's going to make the next move out of here. Again, there's a competition within this competition. The junior men kind of have pulled away. These guys are all watching each other like hawks. Number 10 down the sprinter's lane, trying to recover from that Madison just a moment ago. It's back over here to Pyle and Gallagher, who now ride high. They're racing basically in a match sprint, although they see Logan starting to creep his way into this thing in the sprinter's lane. So now 3 riders at the front, all getting the belt about the same time. Here they come. It's 3 across the track. Pyle and Gallagher have raced themselves into a match sprint. There goes Gallagher first, Pyle on the wheel. The junior men making a good show of it here in this head-to-head match. Logan trailing on the pace a little bit. It'll now be Gallagher and Pyle, the second attack coming in from Pyle. On the home straight, the field getting the bell. Danny Scoville on the lead of the field. We'll see how they come back around in a moment. Here comes the sprint for the junior men. Pyle on the outside, Gallagher on the inside, head-to-head. Whoa! Pyle with enough on the outside, despite the early attack. Whoa, very well matched there. Logan with a great race today, getting ahead of the field as well. Great ride for number 155. Fun sprint coming around the corner here. It's Scoville leading things out for the junior women. In the middle of this field, the orange helmets going quick. Lucy Gilchrist on the wheel. Scoville, Gilchrist going 1 and 2 across the line. That's Bella getting third, I think, overall in that placing. for the junior women. And those riders will exit on the back straight. They are all wrapped up. Nicely done. All right, Keirin's. Good times. We got straight to finals today, thanks to the number of competitors. Oh, and we're doing it. Oh, I love it. We're doing it the good old-fashioned way. We'll need just a moment to get ourselves set for this as we're going to get the pacer ready, including the camera started and live. We're getting our heats, not heats, really. We're straight to finals. We've got our riders getting set to go in each of these groups. Up first is the Masters men, 35 through 49. They're followed by the Masters 50 through 54, and then the Masters 55 plus. Again, we'll just take a second to get things set up. We're almost ready to start. Getting a look here on the camera, getting right in the face of Matty Hers on the outside, Alex Siegel next to him, James Campbell Harris, Rare Tech Racing, Mike Ritter in the Dyna kit. That's Stanley Douglas giving the salute. And in the pink down there, that's Scott Grinsolt. Also for Dyna Racing, Mr. G. Getting a good look across the field. We're going straight to finals today in these, so these riders are finished up after this race. They'll be medaled directly after this competition. I think we'll have to just run it for now, guys. So let's set it on its way. All right. Fantastic. Our officials checking with everybody to get this race started, and the signal is given for the pacer. And now we get underway, straight to finals for these riders. They got one chance today to sort out who's the top speed champ in the keirin. 4 times around the track, the pacer leads the way. The rider at the front is racing, not in the race, but only to bring them up and around the track and bring them up to speed. After 2.5 laps, that rider will exit the track with the pacer and leave the other 6 riders to compete for the places. Now, again, thanks to the fact that we are doing some age-based masters competition here, there's competitions within the competition, but I'm going to call this race just as it is. We're going to see who's the fastest rider today out of this heat. Six riders lined up, and yeah, I think some of the riders in the field maybe are calling the same one I would, which is, can you just give it to Alex Siegel already? Number 42 in the, he's got the Broadmark jersey on, but he's also got the national colors on there. He's got that custom nationals jersey champion. He's racing as a champion in this field because he has shown he's got great top speed. He's on the sprinter side when it comes to the strength here at the track, and that's the kind of race this is. It really benefits well the sprinters. So certainly watch his position. A couple of riders right around him also very strong. We saw Matty Hers, what he can do, number 15 in the Madison. Overall, a real speedy guy, and he's right on the wheel of Siegel, so he'll keep it quick for sure. So I'm going to watch those 2 racers most closely here as the pacer is going to pull off to the left. It's now Dyna Racing just going as fast as they can. That's Mr. G on the lead spot, just trying to drive this thing from the front position. Mike Ritter's holding onto the wheel. He gets back up to it. Here's the bell. Here's where the speed's going to really start picking up as we go. 1 to go. 1 to go. Mike Ritter's starting to come around the outside. He brings with him James Campbell Harris. It's still Siegel sitting back a little bit. Here comes the acceleration out of turn 2. They're going to use the hill. There's Matty Hers holding onto the wheel of Siegel down the back straight. Here goes Siegel on his big move. Matty Hers trying to hold on to it. This is what I'm talking about, folks. The top speed coming out of the field. He makes everybody else look like they're sitting still as Siegel Hers. Siegel and Hers are on the outside. Here they come down the home straight. It's going to be Siegel alongside of Hers. Look at the sprint. Hers, number 15. Siegel goes second across the line. And James Campbell Harris, number 311, with a great finish as well, will be third across the line. Nicely done. You never know with that Matty guy. He's crafty. Very nice. You could say an upset there for number 42. And off we go to the Masters 50 through 54 keirin finals. They're followed by the Masters 55 and up. And we've got on the outside lane, that's Haldeman. And next to him is Justin Captis. Hyun Lee in the middle. Paul Arachnus in the red. And down there at the bottom, we got our friend from up north. It's Hans Loveholz from the JBVelodrome Club. And the race underway. Oh, the big start getting up to the pacer there. Captis flying up to position. Oh, there we go. He's resetting. I think we got this. Not quite hitting their order. I think we're going to have to bring this one dead. The double gun says the race is dead. We'll restart it. And to clarify, that is an error in positioning. The lane determines the order behind the pacer on the first bit. Riders can reposition, but they have to get into position first. You have to see that lineup. All right, we're going to get them right back to the line and start them again quick. This will be a fast reset. Good time to come on over to the beverage garden, pick up Postdoc Brewing Locust Cider, and support the Velodrome while you're doing it as well. Tabasum is ready to serve some savory pies over here. We got meat pies. They got some sweet potato pies, a delicious seasoned mushroom pie. They're quick and delicious and ready to go for you. Then Dreamy Drinks also still here, serving the boba and espresso and some other goodies out of the truck. So coming over for some goodies behind the grandstands. Here we go with our restart. Off we go. All right, so Hans Loveholz, number 47, coming down here from the JBVelodrome Club. That's our friends up north in the Vancouver area. He takes position 1 as he drew position 1 at the beginning of the race. On his wheel again, that's Paul Arachnus in the red. Hyun Lee is right in the middle. Justin Captis, the 5th rider in the group. And then Haldy, our 5th rider. Haldeman's hand-built wheels. We've got a lot of riders around here that are the beneficiaries of Haldy's great work. If you need some work done on a tire or wheel, you want some custom work done, he's your guy to look at it. And another one of our fantastic sponsors here at the Velodrome. And, of course, longtime staple competitor. So here we are with our group of 5. Let's see. Haven't seen a lot from Hans this year, as this is my first time watching him race down here this season. So I'm interested to see how he races this from the front. Never a slouch on the bike. The rider in the middle has got a lot of top speed. Hyun Lee is known as having a lot of power and ability to kind of muscle his way up in a race like this. So those are the two I'm most curious to see how they ride. Depending on how this one unfolds, I could see either rider having a good finish here today. Coming across the line is now 2 to go on the back straight. The pacer will exit. It'll be Loveholz, our out-of-towner, that is going to be setting the pace for this competition after the pacer leaves. He looks like he wants to stay fairly aggressive as he's starting to put a little bit more power into it, and there he goes. So he'll stay at least at consistent tempo. Okay, hesitation, pulls up and out of the lane, wants to reset it for a moment. No one's fully engaged. He comes all the way back down to the sprinter's lane, causing a little bit of chaos. Bell's ringing. Paul Rackness, 425, gritting his teeth and off and away. Hyun Lee's got his wheel locked in pretty well. Rackness is trying to hold on to this one. Lopelhose has got a good wheel though too. Here they go down the back straight. Hyun Lee up and out of the saddle, trying to get a little more acceleration. It's Rackness starting to lose that lead position. Lopelhose still has Hyun Lee on it. Oh, can it be Hyun Lee all around the corner? Lopelhose is trying to hold on. Hyun Lee down the sprinter's lane. Whoa! Hans Lopelhose around the outside, number 47. With a great finish, our rider from the Burnaby Velodrome Club coming down and showing how it's done today. Hyun Lee will find a second place finish. It looks like Rackness should be good for third. And in our last group for the Masters Keirins tonight, now coming up for their lineup. On deck, the elite Masters and Junior women scratch race. Effectively all women for the elite, Master, or Junior categories. Scratch race on deck. On the outside lane, we got Kevin Von Hellebeck in that yellow jersey. Right next door to him is Jonathan Leons. Ken Dong in the pink for Liquid Velo's Vern Cole. And then two riders from Dyna Racing. First, we got Eric Waterman, number 19, and then down at the very bottom is Gene Wainwright. That makes up the riders of this group. And the Pacers are on its way for our last Keirin tonight. All right, we'll get our riders lined up here. It's Gene Wainwright that's compelled to take this lead spot. And then they'll all fan in behind as they're called to do. Three riders for the Dyna Racing team here today, the black and pink squad. Team affiliations really don't play a huge role once the race starts, as our riders are compelled to race as individuals, not as teams. Unlike if you're watching Tour de France competitions or anything similar to that, you'd expect riders to work together for their teammates. It is against the rules on the track to do so. This is an individual event. Team affiliations has more to do with the coaching, with the preparation, with the community that comes along with it. Any sponsorship sort of benefits that may come along with membership as well, another big part of it. Getting up to speed here in our last Keirin. They've just gone around for one full lap. Gene Wainwright, the leader of this field as the pacer, will leave, so we'll see how he races this thing. Another interesting one to call. The two that I would be most favoring overall are two of the Dyna racers. Vern Cole, though, right in the middle, he's a smart rider and he's in a really good position. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the rider in black and green find this one today. Just about now up to max speed as they round out of turn 3. This will be the last few meters with the pacer. Gene Wainwright still holds the lead, and he tries to keep it nice and consistent right now, so not trying to drop any pace. Still has Eric Waterman as wheel. Some action fanning out. It's one to go. Who's going to take this Keirin? Oh, there's the two from Dyna that I'm watching. It's both Waterman and Ken Dong. Proud sprinters both. And here comes Vern Cole. He has a good spot in the race, as I mentioned. He just has to get the power and the speed lined up. He's in a good lane now. He's got to run at Eric Waterman. Waterman's still on the front of this one. Waterman takes the lead position all the way around for the back straight. Waterman coming to the home straight. It will be number 19, just barely over number 20. A great race for Dyna Racing there, Eric Waterman. Yeah, good call out there on the live stream for Maddie's win back there in the Keirin. Good racecraft. I agree. Again, as I mentioned during their earlier laps, he's a smart rider. He found a good place and he did the move as he needed to. It was an impressive ride. Fun to watch. We have ourselves a scratch race coming up for the women. On deck, a scratch race for the elite men and the 17 to 18-year-old junior men. Scratch race on deck. And the rollout sign given for the neutral lap. This is our women competitors. Looks like 15 athletes competing today in this great field. Still a couple races within the race, but the majority of the competitors here, I would say the biggest overall field is elites. Then we got a few riders that are juniors out there, just a couple in that 17, 18, or 15, 16 category. And then we have those every 5-year gaps for the Masters competitors that several riders are also competing in. So there'll be a lot of medals coming out of this one, but most importantly, a good sized field and a great scratch race coming up. 12 laps around the track. Bell at 1 to go to let us know we're at the final lap. We're midway in Fred's race. It's session number 1 of the regional championships of the track. Near record turnout for riders this weekend overall, which is great to see. We'd love to see this event grow even larger. Need lots of racers to make these fields competitive and interesting. So and they were given the whistle, so racing is underway, and at 12 to go. Off we go on this very first lap. As a familiar name in the last couple of weeks, Hillary Luther has been really stirring things up here, number 9. She'll do so right away on this first lap, trying to establish some quick tempo in this decently sized field and separate the riders as quickly as you can. One great way to be safe in a large field is speed. Get everybody in a single file line and spread you out. No funny business when you're at top speed. 11 to go. Julie Peterson riding for the Monster Racing Team out of Oregon. It's one of our Oregon competitors represented here in the regional championships. Takes the lead for a moment. That's the rider in the black with the black helmet. She's got practically a full black kit. I believe it would have been the 4th of July that we saw this competitor really heat things up. Diane Snobelin, the rider in the white with the black helmet, cleaned house, number 220. So I call her as an early favorite this whole weekend, just to watch in general, because she has shown that she has a lot of strength. Saw her just ride in situations that you wouldn't think you would win. She was able to power through in some really tough moments. So it's another rider to keep your eye on, number 220 in the white. In the junior competition, always fast, there's Danny Scoville taking the front, right behind her teammate Kelly Darlene, who just pulled out of the way. Two young speedsters out here this weekend, racing for the pride of the Jerry Baker Juniors, who have been a couple years in a row champions of the team competition. That's Jenna Lingwood on the back straight, another out-of-town competitor. Competing this previous week here at the Velodrome. Lingwood, another favorite based on her racing last weekend. Someone to keep your eye on here in the middle of this field as she'll go back a few wheels to kind of position herself middle of the way. Here's Hillary again at the front, always willing to keep things fast. It's number 9. Alinda Lingwood, another of our out-of-towners, number 15. Wearing a local jersey, though, as both Jen and Alinda have local roots here at this velodrome. Sort of kind of a homecoming for them in that way. On the back straight, that's the blue, the Center Cycles Kenmore Velo team in blue with the black helmet. Catherine Wade Easley is another one to watch, number 88. She's had a very good early going in this year on Friday nights. Shown improvement week to week. Our Monster Racing Team rider finds herself pinned near the front right alongside Jenna Lingwood for the kind of the midway, almost the midway point of the race as we sit still for just a moment, catch a little bit of breath. Lamar Edwards gets things going again from the sprinter's lane and kind of invites more speed over the top of her as that looks to be Heather Nielsen, number 5, coming to the front. Halfway through this race, it's 6 to go. Nielsen pulls out of the way. Lingwood, number 13, sitting alongside, ready for the Point Esnokian team. Hillary Luther, that rider in the blue, has been very active in front. Another one of our Oregonian competitors. So this field really peppered with some riders from down south, Oregon way. The Portland area represented decently well this weekend. Another hesitation here. A little few attacks here and there. The last one to really pull up the pace with Nielsen after that reset, waiting for the next effort to come out. There's still opportunities for someone to maybe send forth a move before it gets down to the big sprint. Seeing 5 to go, there's still plenty of track ahead of them. There's number 220. I mentioned her name early. Not very active on the front in the middle of this race and kind of being sneaky and not wanting to pull too hard. She does come to the front now and is starting to show a little bit of energy. The field's starting to respond. Snowbalin now on the front, followed by the black and green of Liquid Velo. I believe that's Christine Diebler on the wheel. Behind Diebler, the rider for the Monster Racing Team again up near the front, trying to keep her eye on everything. It's now Liquid Velo at the lead of the lap. And up and out of the saddle, trying to keep the pressure on and keep things fast. Still plenty of laps before the bell rings. Doesn't seem like that many. They're going to be seeing 3 to go, but that's still a long ways for a sprint. So not up to full speed yet. Diebler on the lead of the lap. Lots of riders lined up behind her. They don't want to be too far behind this speed as the sprint is so close. 227 again right there, Julie Peterson. She takes the lead now. Number 1, Kelly Darlene, trying to hesitate and doesn't want to spend a match this early. Swings up and lets the field follow her, and she'll reconsider. She comes back down in the sprinter's lane as she sees no one else wants to do the work. This is her kind of effort. She will not get the bell this time, but this is a pretty big move for Kelly. She at least wants to make it hard to come around her now as she seems to be putting in a pretty big one. Wade Easley, number 88, matches her nicely. Number 220, not wanting to be dropped. As Diane Snoblin makes it up and around the top. Here she comes as Diane Snoblin starting to line things up. Jenna Lingwood starting to move in position. Hillary Luther accelerating a bit. All the names I've mentioned starting to kind of form this front wedge of the field. And they're all behind the wings of Snoblin right now as the bell's ringing. We're in our formation. Snoblin down low. Number 220 is in the lead spot, and I've seen her win a few races just in the drag race like this. Jenna Lingwood on the wheel, though. Good race smarts from her in his perfect place. Monster Racing's got Julie Peterson in third wheel. She's raced this well and put herself in a good place to compete. But again, Diane Snoblin just so strong. She's powerhousing her way around the track. And I think despite the big move around, number 13 still able to find it. unofficially, I think it's Jenna Lingwood. The unofficial call, and Diane Snowblin, I believe, second across the line in the overall race. Kind of was holding my breath there for a second. I kind of got off the mic because I was a little worried about some movement on the track there, but we managed okay. There's a temporary pause here for a little communication on the back end, and we'll get the next race going up here really shortly. This is going to be the elite men and the junior men, 17, 18-year-olds. Will be jumping out on the track for a 20-lap scratch race. Looks like they're now called to the rail. So let's get these riders set and ready to start. 20-lap scratch race for elite men and the 17, 18-year-old juniors. The two food trucks still open over here behind the grandstands. Beverage Garden still has plenty of Stanley Cups ready to serve. We're having a great time here. We're just getting to the good stuff. We got plenty more great racing to go. And the sign for rollout given for the neutral. Man, really using that rail. Whew. Nolan Allen, this is a leg sport, not a hand sport. You got to really, yeah, it's all right. You'll figure it out. Okay, off we go for the neutral. Okay, someone's here to cheer somebody on. On the back straight, we're getting this field all together for 20 laps of scratch racing. Two fields competing for medals within this field. We've got junior men, 17, 18-year-olds, and all the rest of the riders will be competing for the elite men competition. And the whistle is sounded. Racing is underway. 20 laps. Great racing coming up here, folks. Andy Baker says, let's get things started. Number 4, you saw his team pull out a victory in the Madison earlier today. Combination of him and Matty Hers, who I believe is out here in this field. There he is, number 15. We also saw what number 15, what Matty did in that keirin. So talk about some early favorites. The winners of the Madison, 2 riders to watch, number 4 and number 15. As number 4 flies off for the front, tries to find a place to slot in somewhere midfield and not work too hard too early. Plenty of laps still to go. Number 27, Chris Wilson, riding for Found Cycling, which has been a very consistent force at the field in the velodrome this season. We've seen a lot from the green team. Joined by many of his teammates out there today in this field. We got riders David Richter, it looks like Chris Wilson, Brandon Russell, Mario Sandoval. I believe it's Colin Stotts out there. Plenty of riders in that group, so lots of Found Cycling. 18 to go. There's one of them, the Rocket, David Richter at the front. Practically, I can't think of many racers more well known in the area. There's Richter and his long and storied career in the Seattle region. Up and out of the way, that's one of his teammates, Brandon Russell, number 6. And here comes number 40 for Cost Racing, Matthew Brady. Early goings here. Hard to say how this race will play out. You got to love a decent length for a scratch races. There's a lot of chances for riders to try to get away. Lots of attacking that'll occur. This kind of speed is like, why are they going so darn fast so early? You got to use your athleticism somehow. If you just sit up slow and sprint at the end, it's just going to be the strongest in the short distance that wins. If you think you got endurance, you got to play the card early. So this sort of tempo, part of the way the racing works, and to keep things fast, riders taking their turns at the front right now and keeping it almost in single file formation. That's Mario Sandoval, Super Mario, who's been, he's not wearing the Rider of the Year tonight, but he has been wearing the Rider of the Year jersey for this field for a couple weeks now. Not wearing it tonight because for Fred's race, we're not looking at Rider of the Year. This is the kind of a separate special event, so no Rider of the Year's jerseys allowed today. Number 3, John Bowie. If I have another name to point out and kind of just say, watch where this guy goes, watch number 3, because Liquid Velo's got a pretty fast rider in that one. He's smart, and he's always seems to find a way to get to the front, couple of riders at the exact moment he needs to, and he has very good top speed. So in a scratch race, he's got a good combination here. So another rider just to see where does he put himself as we get into the final half. One of our junior men about to be at the front of the race, number 18 in that 17, 18-year-old junior men's category. That's Henry Kaiser. The Laser wearing the orange helmet, sticking out. Little Max making his name known as he leads the lap down the back half. Number 35 for Beat Cycling. And here once again, Andy Baker for the Broadmark Capital team in the white, blue, and yellow. Longtime supporters of the track and of this team. You can see a couple of riders this weekend will be racing in their colors. You can see some of our biggest supporters of the track's names painted in the corners. And corner 1 is reserved for the great folks over at Broadmark Realty Capital who have been supporting the Velodrome for many years. Specializing in capital venture projects. And they are top-notch professionals in the field. A big thanks to what they've done here at the Velodrome for supporting riders and our efforts. At the front of the field, it's now Carl Hofer in the red for Audi Racing starting to stretch out this field. Always seems like this guy needs half the race to get up to speed, and then all of a sudden he just goes and goes and goes. As Carl Hofer, he's not going to necessarily win any sprints, but if you let him get things going at the front, he can make this race real hard for the rest of the field. And he knows that's got to be his card to play. Another one of our juniors in this field, it looks like Will Fowler, making his way towards the front for a little bit and swings out of the way. A few juniors in this group besides, I think I've got Fowler and Kaiser so far. One of them is Itai Malakoff, second wheel right now, right behind Matthew Brady. I believe that's our juniors in the group. Oh, Colin Stotts, can't forget him. So 4 junior men, I believe, in the full group. Everyone else is competing for medals for the elite men.
And David Madison.
Ah, there's the one. I knew I was going to miss one if I wasn't careful. Because it's David Magnuson, also of the Jerry Baker Jr. squad, is out there. All right, seeing 9 to go. That's Chris Wilson again, number 27. Never count that guy out either. I've seen him do some pretty wild things out here. He's got incredible motor and ability to kind of sense the moment. We saw him have a dramatic win a few weekends ago from the front of this field. Caught them sleeping, and he just went for a big early attack. So keep your eyes on 27 as well. There's John Bowie again. Not one to work too hard. He's going to be smart and try to save his effort as he sees this field not breaking apart right now. There's no reason to spend too much energy. Super Mario at the front, looking through the legs, trying to keep track of the field right behind him. He's got Fowler tied to his wheel right now. One of our juniors again at the front. That was Kit Colbert at the front for a moment in the gray. Number 318. Once again, Matthew Brady coming up to the front. Overall, fairly static. It's quick, but it's not crazy fast. There's not been that sort of attack energy from the front. There's just been a constant pace setting sort of mindset from this field. And if riders want to participate, they stay on there for about a half lap. If they don't, they pull up quick. There seems to always be somebody ready, though, to keep the pace going. We do have a couple of BC competitors in this field. One of them was near the front there, number 45 in the black and red from Cycles West. The British Columbia competitor, Eric Dertens, making his way into this competition tonight. Everyone else, more on the local side of things. So unlike our last race, our women, seeing a lot of Oregonians coming in. Here it's mostly our local competitors and just 2 riders coming down from BC to mix it up. Looks like this field is just going to be satisfied. No one in this group wanting to try to put on that huge pressure to separate things, and everybody's willing to keep it together. So right now we're just setting ourselves up for what is essentially a 20-lap keirin setup. At this sort of tempo, someone's going to have to find the top speed. It's going to be a lot of energy spent to stay in this field, but nonetheless, looking pretty consistent. No one stayed at the front for too long. There should be a lot of fresh legs, and you'll notice there's number 15 again at the front for just a moment, Matty Hers. He does not stay there long. Some of these names I've called out that I favor, it's because I know that they're going to be selfish and smart at the same time. They know they don't have to do the work, so why do it? Save it for the win. This is a sprint after all, right? If it stays all together, I just got to have the most energy left at the end. Spend too much too early. That's not going to pay off. Getting down to it, it's just 3 to go. David Madison at the front for a moment, right behind Itai, 2 of our juniors in the field. All the juniors this weekend for this group looks like it's going to be Jerry Baker Jr. competitors. Chris Wilson picking up the pace. We'll be seeing 2 to go as they round the corner. Lots of found cycling at the front, as all these riders are certainly ones that want to get top places tonight and all very capable. Richter, not the least of them, number 7. Oh, number 6 up and out of the saddle is Brando. Big move here. And there's Bowie. He was watching. He said, I can't be too far from the front. I got to go if someone goes like this. He's going to make the big dive here. Off and away from the field. Trying to bridge up quickly to Brando. It's now going to be Brando coming around the corner. The bell's going to be ringing. It's all in it now. Brando on the front. Bowie pursuing. He's made the catch. Number 24 is Super Mario. Oh, the swing up to the rail. Whoa. What's going on here? Wow. Down the back straight. Super Mario's trying to hold on to it. Here comes Richter. Here comes Hers. Here comes Bowie. Everybody's got to swing out to find some room. Gene Johnson cycling trying to get it. I think Bowie says, I don't have it anymore. He's going to back off. Here comes Hers. Down the blue line. Matty Hers. Andy Baker, Sandoval go 1, 2, and 3 unofficially. Yeah, before I can answer the question on the YouTube stream, we are indeed a 400-meter long track, so largest kind of facility in general of this type. Most facilities are a shorter distance than ours. This is a 400-meter outdoor facility with about 23.5 or so degrees and at its most severe point in those banks. Nothing crazy. One of the great reasons that we are such a great place for junior riders to come out and learn the sport, so new riders to this sport aren't so intimidated by those big banks and some of the shorter tracks that you might find other places. It does make for a pretty long lap. And off for the neutral, our juniors are going out for a points race. There's a 4x4 format. If you're here all the way at the beginning, you saw the Madison, which was also a points race. This is now not a team race with 2 riders. It's just these individuals going out for points. So this is a 4x4. We'll do 5, 3, 2, and 1 on those point sprints. Sprints will be every 4 laps. There's 4 in total. That's 16 laps if you're keeping track. Bells will be, first bell will be at 13 to go. and every 4 after that. Double points on the final sprint, just like the Madison was as well. All right, the whistle does signal racing is underway, and the juniors going out for points racing. Folks, we're so glad you're here to support the riders. If you're here in person, it means so much to have this crowd every week. We're proud of our supporters, our weekly folks that come out here and make this thing what it is. People will travel across the country, and we hear this from folks that come in for the Grand Prix every year, and they say, you guys have the most incredible crowd, the most incredible community to be able to pull this off. And it's true. We are pretty fortunate up here. So big shout out to our fans that make it out here every single week. And for those of you that are just checking it out, welcome and thanks for being a part of tonight. Speaking about the Vision Grand Prix, that is coming up in next month. It's just basically a month away now. 12th and 13th of August, and registration has opened up. So if you're out there tuning in and you're thinking you're coming to the Velodrome for the Grand Prix, don't forget to sign up ahead of time. Early registration, always appreciated. The Grand Prix is our biggest prize purse of the year. We got the best sort of draw for national class talent. It's the fastest racing typically, and you'll see here at the Velodrome. Again, that's going on August 12th and 13th. Information can now be found on the website, velodrome.org. Registration now open for racers looking to come this way. At 14 to go, Merrick Gallagher, number 328, makes a nice move here, head of the field. No points this lap, just trying to get some separation between him and the rest of the riders. Still Gallagher on the lead of the lap. The rest of the field being led out right now by JC Pyle, trying to catch back on. On a typical Friday night, we don't have this much variance in the categories. It's a little bit more streamlined, right? So this is more about making sure that we have fields for competition for medal purposes. So riders need to really be placed as best as we can against same age, similar sort of skill sets, but also try to hold competitive fields. So it certainly makes for a different type of experience on a normal night. Gallagher should be picking up the first points, I believe, in the race. Scoville, I think it's 3. Gilchrist 2. The unofficial call. And all right, next sprint at 9 to go. We'll have our next bell. All right, and seeing 10 to go. That's Scoville at the front. Lucy Gilchrist, number 22, right behind her. 456 is Henry Armstrong, the rider in the black with the red helmet. And our second bell now. It's 9 to go, and we're sprinting for points. Logan in a good spot here, number 155. Okay, because of the lack of the bell, we are not scoring the first sprint. So that was not scored, apparently. We will not score the first sprint since they were not really engaged in it. So, fair enough. Here comes JC Pyle after the sound of the bell. He's trying to get the first 5 officially for the race. Merrick Gallagher says, no way. Another head-to-head between these two. Pyle for 5, Gallagher for 3, Scoville for 2, and Lucy Gilchrist for 1. That'll be your leaders after the halfway mark in the race. 2 more chances for sprinting. Next one at 5 to go. And then, of course, the double points at the end. On deck, the Masters men 35 through 54 riders for their points race. Masters men 35 through 54 points race is on deck. We have 7 laps to go in the current race as our leaders just now cross the line. Six to go. Bell next time around. Your leader, JC Pyle, in the overall points with 5. It's Gallagher in second with 3 after the first sprint. Many of these riders looking to take it on the road again this summer and compete T-Town. They've got Junior Nationals going on again over there, and kind of a fairly normal experience for us here sending juniors that way. T-Town over in Pennsylvania. Many of the riders here will be making their way over this year as well as they did last year. At 5 to go, it's Logan with a big move here. Number 155, really locking it up on the home straight. Trying to find some more points in this one. Logan Lee down the back straight finds himself in that tough spot as a couple riders are starting to respond to his move now. Merrick Gallagher in the best spot to counter attack is first to come up and around. Scoville and Pyle both trying to keep it close. Here comes Gallagher down the home straight. Looks like he's on his way for 5. Scoville for 3, Pyle for 2, and 1 for Gilchrist. And there is still 1 sprint to go, and that's going to be for double points. Logan Lee with a nice move there. Henry Armstrong still in this race. It looks like 205 is Leah Holslander on the back straight, working with Bella there together to stay as part of this competition. The main group of riders at the front have found themselves moving up towards the rail, and now you've got the match sprint stuff going on within the race. Go figure. This is what the medals do to things like this. You've got a race head-to-head between Danny and Gilchrist there coming out of turn 4 now, and behind them actually is Pyle and Gallagher, who are head-to-head for the gold in the junior men. Oh, Frank checking in. Can't be here to photograph tonight. We love having people here to photograph, especially if they're sharing them with us. If you've got something worthy to share, don't forget to hit us up on our Instagram at JBVelodrome. Even if you're here tonight and you got something cool, tag us and share it. If you're up at the rail taking some nice photos of some of the riders, they might enjoy seeing that later on our social media. As again, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, JBVelodrome. You can find us on Facebook, the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, the fan page. Just search us there. You'll find us quick. And, of course, on YouTube, where we're streaming right now, JB Velodrome channel. But, yeah, photographs always welcome. We'd love to get more if people are willing to share. And if you've got links to send you'd like to send out to folks, we're also the place to go. If we gather enough, we might even throw them in a newsletter or something sometime. That'd be kind of fun. 2 to go. Kind of gather ourselves back up again. Race leader in points now is going to be Merrick Gallagher. He's the rider in the red helmet above the blue line, waiting for the next move. There goes Pyle. They're in a head-to-head competition for the medals. They're chasing back onto Henry now, who's snuck himself off the front of the field. Henry Armstrong taking advantage of the fact those two are watching each other, and he's trying to sneak away to his own benefit. Pyle trailing by 1 point behind Gallagher. Scoville leading Gilchrist with 5. Gilchrist has got 2. 1 to go. It's the last sprint. Henry Armstrong leading the lap. Number 456 sort of starting things back a lap ago, and now the 2 juniors behind him look like they're going to be going head-to-head. Pyle sees he's got a little bit of a window. It's going to be Pyle and Gallagher in this last sprint. Whoever wins it wins for their medal place. Pyle had the timing, and he actually left Gallagher with a pretty big gap, maybe too much to make up. It looks like Pyle is on his way to getting this one. J.C. Pyle, Merrick Gallagher with another great head-to-head race today. Behind them, it looks like coming on the home straight, it's Scoville leading out for the junior women. She'll be able to lock it down. Whoa! Tight there between, I believe it was Bella and Lucy, and I might want to give it to Bella just by a little bit. With the bike throw, she might have had that one. Whew. Nicely done for the juniors in their points race. .35 to 54 Masters men to the rail for the points race. 35-54 men for the Masters points race. Great viewership out there right now on the YouTube. Sorry again about the slow stream. We're always working to improve things, and we've had a lot of challenge getting good service out here that gives us a chance to really bring it to you without hiccups, especially on concert nights. So we will re-upload the action after racing is done. We'll get a nice quality stream back up there and share it with everybody on our channel. Don't miss out whenever we upload a video. Subscribe to the channel if you're here right now. Just scroll down, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notifications when we upload videos. And of course, it really helps us out when you hit that thumbs up button on the video. If you're here in person, want to share or even help us get some more eyes on our stream, velodrome.org/live. Pick it up right now and share it with friends and family so they can see what's going on here today. Last call for Masters 35 through 54 points race. Real slow neutral, apparently. Yes, one more is coming, apparently. Slow on your neutral. I think we might be able to get this going. I think we're going to speed this neutral up all of a sudden now, right? Let's see. Once again, on track now, 35 to 54 Masters men points race. On deck, the Masters men 55 up points race. Followed by all women for their points race. That's the elite Masters and junior women back up for their points race. And then the last points race tonight will be elite men and the junior men, 17, 18-year-olds together for that last group. All right. They let him get back on. He had to hustle it up. Maddie Hers, number 15, flies on out to join the field. And the points race underway for these riders. They've got how many laps? 25. It's a 5x5. Bell's on 6 and 1 in this race. First time you'll hear Bell's at 21 to go. That's Paul Rackness, number 425. I can say numbers. At the front for a moment. Justin Captis takes the lead now. Captis for Premier Racing, in that white with the black helmet. We're going to see a lot of the same riders in this smaller size field today. Obviously, we're going to get fairly used to who's out here for the single malt velo team. That's Haldy taking the lead now. Number 34. Couple laps until the first bell. At 21 to go, we'll get our first chance for a point sprint. And Mr. G at the front there for a moment. Swings up and out of the way for Mr. Tardy, Matty Hers. Hans Lofelholz at the front for just a moment. Again, our competitor coming down from Burnaby in the greater Vancouver area. The rider with that dark blue jersey. Bell, points next lap. 21 to go. Points next lap. Ritter at the front of the sprint for the Dyna Racing Squad. 3:03 leads it out down the back straight, giving Mr. G great position and opportunity to come flying in. Here comes the big strike, though, from the back of the field. It's going to be Lofelholz and Hers flying up alongside. Hans Lofelholz looking for the first 5. Matty Hers challenging all the way. It'll be Hers, Lofelholz, and I think it's actually Adams, number 11. 4-2. Riders using the full top of the track there to slow down their acceleration. Whoa, big reset to break down the sprinter's lane. Good movement from those three. Your Matty Hers, number 15, the unofficial leader early on, with Lofelholz sitting second, Nolan Adams sitting third. There's your race leader in the white down the back straight with 5 points after that first sprint. Again, it's Lofelholz in second with 3. Nolan Adams in third with 2. Scott Grinsell also in black and white. He's got 1 point in fourth. He's rider number 313, just about to take the front. More great things happening here at the Velodrome. I mentioned earlier about the Vision Grand Prix coming back here for 2022. We're so excited to host that in the middle of August 12th and 13th, with racer registration now open. If you're out there tuning in from afar and you're planning to make your way into Redmond this year to compete for the Grand Prix, don't forget to sign up early. Host housing and other things are available. If you need support getting over here, reach out, get a hold of us. We'd like to help you get to compete here. We're looking forward to a great event. And of course, our weekly racing continues from here until then. Every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. Our main program every week, Friday Night Racing, 7 o'clock. That's what you're watching right now. Weekly, we do this thing as long as the weather holds up. Our full race calendar for all of our special events and racing can be found at velodrome.org. Bell's ringing for our second sprint. That's Mr. G on the front of the field. Number 313 makes the attack as the bell rings. Paul Rackness is trying to find a way into this one. The rider in the red starting to line things up. Nice effort here by the rider in red. Should be able to find some points here, though he's going to be inviting trouble, as here comes Hers and Lofelholz. Hers for 5. Oh, Lovahols for 3, Adams for 2, and Mr. G for 1. I believe that's just double up the points we all had and keep the race going. So unofficially, that's Matty Hurst now with 10, Lovahols with 6, Adams with 4, and Grinsel with 2. Other things available, of course, here at the Velodrome, haven't really mentioned yet. The adult classes. These riders had to start somewhere. Well, if you didn't get in as a junior, how are you starting now? Take an adult class. It's never too late to pick up the sport. We've got the opportunity for adults to take a 4-hour track class on the weekends, Saturdays or Sundays, depending on when the calendar is set up for. And that 4-hour class from noon to 4 will get you everything you need to know to race safely, to understand the track bike, to know how to show up on a race night ready to go. And after that's done, you'll keep doing the beginner nights. You'll race as a novice for a few weeks. And depending on how that goes, the staff there will give you the green light. At some point, they'll say, you're ready to race in the field. And they'll make you a Cat 4, and off you go. You could be racing on a Friday night. We have racing for Cat 4 men, or Cat 4 women who compete on a Friday night, and as well as a couple other opportunities throughout the week. So it all starts by signing up for a class, and you guess where you can sign up for it. Velodrome.org under the education tab. We still have some openings this year available. In addition, Madison clinics. If you're already a racer, we still have a few of the free Madison clinics coming up. One of them, at least officially on the calendar now in the month of July. Madison clinic totally free to sign up for, so don't miss your chance for that. $12 to go. Bell next lap. It's Mr. G down the back straight to make a bit of an early move. Premier Racing sends forth Justin Captis, trying to capitalize on this effort. Bell's ringing for points. Scott Grinson with 313 has some already. He's in 4th place overall with 2. Justin Captis on his wheel with 0 right now, trying to find his first points, and in a great place to do it. May be able to find some here. The speedsters in the field, though, will be coming quick. Masters men 55 plus, you're on deck. Masters men 55 plus points race on deck. It's coming up quick, only 10 laps away. Captis looking around to make sure he can hold on for 5. Whoa, I think it might have been Hurst for 5 unofficially. Captis 3, Lovahols 2, and maybe Scott Grinsel 1 there. That was a close one. Also a good chance to plug our women, trans, femme, non-binary clinics are still going on. A regularly occurring, welcoming and safe space for riders to get out and enjoy the track. You can sign up for that on the clinics page at velodrome.org. Those happen every other Tuesday, May through August. So still have a couple of weeks of opportunities for those. Again, you can go to velodrome.org, the education tab, and there's actually a clinics page where you can sign up for some of those free clinic opportunities. 334, Justin Captis says, I don't need to rest, I'll just keep going. Trying to drop some riders in this effort in a nice move. We'll see where the overall point standings are after that last sprint. Matty Hurst in the lead with 15 officially. It's Hans Lovahols in second with 7. Nolan Adams and Scott Grinsel are now tied in the overall standings with 4 points apiece, good for 3rd. And in 5th place, Justin Captis with 3 points, although if he can make this move work, he won't stay down in 5th for long. Captis, 334 for Premier Racing, dialing in a late effort here in the points race. Let's look at the gap here between our leader and the field. Our leader exiting onto the home straight now. The field just now coming out of the Stanley sign, so a pretty good gap here as our leader still well out in front of the group. Not leader in points, though. On the scoreboard, Captis is climbing his way back into this one. Currently with 3 points and 5th overall. Haldy for the single malt velo team, number 34, driving the train now, trying to maybe close down that gap a little bit. Looking a little bit more organized and powerful on his under his leadership. Next opportunity for points as Captus hits the home straight. Trying to capitalize on this very big move. Mike Ritter now doing some work to try to close down the gap next. Still not really finding a way to get up there yet. We still see Captus kind of all on his own. He's dialed in 5 points without question. Obviously to see if he's able to stay out here for 10. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but he has shown great grit here, being off the front of this field for so long. Captus coming in for his 5. The sprint we're going to be really watching is who's going to find the 3 behind him coming out of the corner. It's a move on the outside for Nolan Adams, dialing in for 3. Matty Hurst for 2 and Lofelholz for 1. So here we go. It's still Captus saying, I want to keep off the front. This is impressive, not wanting to rest. He knows that if he can pull this off, it's going to be a big, healthy 10 points at the end of the race. Very nice here from Justin Captus, and a lot of bravery to kind of hold on to this effort. Last race of the night for them, so might as well try to put it all out there and see what happens. Masters men 55 up are on deck in just a few laps here, folks, so be ready to start. Captus still trying to hold on to this tempo. Very commendable effort here for the rider from Premier Racing. The rest of the field behind him sort of watching each other as Justin hits the home straight, seeing 3 to go. The solo effort, always impressive to watch. Nice racing for Justin here. Paul Rackness starting to make an effort, number 425, sticking off the front of this field. Number 15 being watched closely by number 47 as they are considering how much effort to put in here to catch or not. It's still Captus, though, looking very solid and in control of the race. The gap has closed. Not by a significant margin, but noticeable. 2 to go. Captus still at the front. Here comes Haldy trying to bring this thing down closer. Watch this gap inch down. Each turn they've hit, the gap has gotten just a little bit closer, and at top speed, those speedsters back here in the field, Matty Hers and Hans Lofelholz, I think, can close this gap down in a blink of an eye. Yes, indeed. They are with stone throw away now as they come around the corner. Captus with a great ride here today, staying off the front for so long, trying to get something more out of this. Can he get anything on this last lap? It's 1 to go. Number 15's holding the front position as they round through turn 1 out of the field, with Captus, again, just barely in front of them now as they've done most of the work to catch. Now the sprint's going to do the rest of it. Here comes Adams out of the saddle. Nolan Adams, number 11, down the back straight, hitting turn 3 at top speed, and the big move from Lofelholz and Hers as they will now take over the race and control this one to the end. Nolan Adams trying to get the Big 10. It's Nolan Adams for 10, Lofelholz for 6, and Matty Hers for 4. We'll give 2 more points to Scott Grinsel in that one as well, and a nice race for our Masters men. They'll take an exit on the back straight, please. All right. We are good to go. Please come on out and join us on the rail. Masters men 55 up. If you're crossing the track, thanks for competing today. Looks like we got some riders making their way out. We'll see a lot more from our competitors on this long weekend. Is 4 sessions in total. Time trials going on tomorrow morning. All right, and off we go. This is our Masters 55 plus points race. In the neutral, 20 laps in total for a 4x5. And the whistle sound and the racing underway. First points will come after the bell at 16 to go. Vern Cole on the front for this field now, the rider in the black and green for Liquid Velo. .462 is Jonathan Leons for Team Michelle Johnson out of the BC area. He'll take the lead for a moment. All right, I failed will, not unsurprisingly, I think, stay together here in the early goings of things. Their first opportunity for points still ahead of them as Gene Wainwright finds himself yet again on the front. We've got right on his wheels Jerry Powell for the Multnomah Athletic Club out of Oregon. Number 338, seeing 17 to go. And Kevin Von Hallebeck is 424, the rider down the sprinter's lane now on his own, taking the front position. Von Hallebeck still in the front and getting the bell at 16 to go. 16 to go is the bell. Points next time. Von Hallebeck on the lead. Everybody buying their time behind him now. As our first sprint about to be underway. Jonathan Leons, the rider in the white, closest to Van Hallebeck, looking to set things up down the back straight. He'll start to pick up the pace now. Riders riding pretty high here, giving room all across the track. Leon's coming down into the sprinter's lane. That'll leave room now as our rider from Liquid Velo will swing out and around the outside. Vern Cole takes the lead. And it'll be Liquid Velo for 5, Vern Cole. 462 unofficially with 3. Gene Wainwright, the rider from Dyna Racing, for 2. Kevin Von Hallebeck for 1. When it comes to medaling, the competition most interesting in this race will be between Gene Wainwright, who was just at the front for a moment for Dyna Racing, and Vern Cole in the black and green, as they would be on the same podium fighting over medals. In the points right now, it's the rider in the black and green in the lead with 5 after the first sprint. Jonathan Leons, our rider out of British Columbia, is number 2 in the list right now, second place, with 3 points. Then it's Gene Wainwright in third with 2. Kevin Valhellebeck with 1 is good for 4th overall. Scene 12 to go. Bell next lap for points. Next lap for points. Bell next point. Next lap. My goodness. The words. They're all so hard. Just keeping track of what's going on. It's a lot to do. And on the back straight, we're going to see our riders fanning out and kind of riding this, not, I would say, in an odd way in a race like this when you have such a small field. There's going to be a lot of hesitation and almost like it looks like temporary little match sprints as riders are catching their breath and watching each other, waiting for the next move. Vern Cole gets things going again, then starts to reset once more up into turn 4. And now we're into the Bell lap. 5, 3, 2, and 1 the next time around. Gene Wainwright, number 399, controlling position right now. Comes into the sprinter's lane with Leons on his wheel and Vern Cole, the competition, in third spot. Van Hellebeck and Powell also getting the bell a moment ago. And here comes Vern Cole trying to hold on to his lead, get another 5, and move himself up to 10 points. Oh, the sprint for 3 looking pretty close. Looks like it'll be 462 for 3 points. And 399, Gene Wainwright for 2. Down the back straight a moment ago. Now coming into turn 3, I should say. This is also a point sprint technically between these two. Ben Hellebeck and Powell. One rider can get 1 point between these two. Looks like Van Hellebeck will find another point. He gets 2 overall. These two will continue to work together. And here comes our leaders on the track as they see 9 to go. Next bell at 6. It's Jerry Powell, our Oregon competitor, leading out his group of 2. And here's the leaders on the track, seeing 7 to go. Leon's on the front again for our group of 3, about to catch the 2. And our leaders catching at the turn 3, it appears, which would put our 2 down the lap. Leon's still on an effort here, trying to move away a little bit, it looks like, from Wainwright. Bell's ringing at 16 to go. More points next time around. Leader in the race in the points is number 20, the rider in black and green. Vern Cole and Wainwright side by side coming out of the turn here. Vern Cole, the rider in black and green, our current race leader, trying to find 5 more. He's on pace to do so. And it'll be a similar finishing order as we saw last time as Leon still slots in for 3, Wainwright for 2. And Van Hellebeck will find another 1. Copy and paste. Bam. On deck is the women for their points race. All women, that's elite, masters, and juniors competing in the points race coming up next. You've got yourself just about 4 laps now, according to lap cards, to be ready. Your leader, Vern Cole, with 15 points. He's snatched the 5 quite a bit here in this race. That's 3 times, if you're keeping track at home. John Leon's, the rider in white, is in second with 9. He's grabbed 3 points 3 times in a row. Gene Wainwright in third with 6. He's grabbed third across the line 3 times in a row. And then, of course, Kevin Von Hellebeck with 3 points. Picked up 4th across the line 3 times in a row. Consistency award going to this field. Going to try to figure out how to mix things up here, though, as they've got 1 more chance to sprint, and it's going to be double the points. They're seeing the 2 to go mark as they hit the home straight. All part of the fun here this weekend as we look to celebrate all of our riders in the region and bring as many people out as we can in the spirit of Fred's race. We just about met that record for number of rider turnout. So it should make for a great overall weekend. Would love to see more in each of our fields, but here we are as these riders are racing their final race tonight, and the bell's ringing on their last sprint. Leon's the rider in second place in white at the front. He is our second place rider right now in points. The leader points on his wheel, Vern Cole. Powell and Van Hellebeck also getting their 1 to go. They're on their final lap. 1 to go. And around the corner, it will be Vern Cole trying to do the clean sweep here, pick up the last points. Leon's fighting for everything he's got to get them. He made a great run at it. He'll be good for 6 points and 4 more for Wainwright. And head-to-head here is Powell and Von Hellebeck on their last sprint. This is good for 2 points. Oh, closest sprint we've seen in this race. It's going to be Powell on the inside unofficially getting that one. And our riders will exit on the back straight. And we should be good to bring out the next group. Women competitors for the points race, please come to the rail. Going out for the neutral Our women competitors going into points race. You got the rules down by now if you're here and paying attention to how this race goes. 25 on the cards in total for a 5x5 event. Medals, again, a bit mixed in this field as we've got Masters competitors, we've got the elite women competitors, we've got some juniors in there. So when it comes to the podiums, there's a lot of races happening within the race, but I'm just going to call who has the most points, and then we can figure and sort that out later to see how that impacts the medaling at the end of the night. And the whistle sounding the start of the race. 25 to go for the women in this great points race. Again, a mixed field here today, so the medaling can be a bit confusing to track, but we'll just call the points as it goes. I was just talking up here with some of the team. It's like, well, in some cases, depending on how mixed these fields can be, sometimes the points race for your medal just turns out to be a scratch race. Or sometimes in these larger fields, it turns out that all you need is 1 point in one of the sprints, and all of a sudden, bam, you move way up into the podium spot. You don't have to sprint at the end. So it can be a little bit funky to keep track of how that impacts those standings at the end. Here on the early goings, that's Catherine Wade-Easley, number 88, taking the lead spot to move us along. All right, the field's starting to bunch up again. They got a couple more laps until points. Already mentioned some of our favorites. Back in the scratch race, we saw that great finish in the scratch race for this field earlier tonight. Haven't really seen much previously from this rider, Julie Peterson, but she mixed it up nicely in that first race, so we'll keep our eye on her. Number 227 again. Number 220 in the white, Snowbalin nearing the front, and right on her wheel, Jenna Lingwood, top two finishers back there in the scratch. So certainly going to want to see how they race this particular event. Points racing giving a little bit more favoritism for those that have a better endurance skill set. Still got to have top speed and plenty of racing smarts, but riders with a good endurance will have a better chance here to mix things up. And at 21 to go, we have our first bell. And I happen to know the kind of training that number 13, Jenna Lingwood's been doing will certainly put her in a good spot in the endurance side of things for an event like this. Good move here from Kelly Darlene, wearing number 1 as a junior competitor, trying to get out in front for some early points. Diane Snowbalin with really quick acceleration like she always has, just picks it up quick out of turn 3. Jenna Lingwood's trying to follow the wheel. Here comes Snowbalin for 5, Lingwood for 3, Darlene for 2, Scoville for 1. The unofficial call, though, looks pretty clear from my eye. Down the back straight, Darlene doing her favorite move. Stay on it. Don't let anybody recover. It's a good move to take. Riders want to rest. Good chance to go on the attack. She sees she's got some riders right behind her. She's trying to decide what to do with it. She swings up pretty quick in this effort, realizing that a lot of energy has already been spent to hold on to her wheel. Not going to get away at this moment. Number 13, Jenna Lingwood right there. And Scoville, one of the riders that got some points in that last sprint, also number 10 in the junior women's competition, trying to stay competitive. And again, Darlene relentless here. If you've got a certain strength to play, you got to play it. Lingwood is no slouch in this endurance kind of play either. We'll just jump right up on this effort, ready to go. This might be the kind of move to try to weed things down a little bit, shrink this field down a little bit more. It's a long enough race that we might find some riders breaking off with this kind of tempo. 18 to go. Lingwood at the lead for a moment. Quick rotations at the front as several of our points getters are not wanting to do more work. Darlene will not let them rest, though, as she comes to the front again. This junior's got a motor, and she's going to try to use it now and just apply as much pressure as she can consistently in the early goings. So despite all this early pressure applied by Kelly, the field does still stay together, but you know that they're all a little more tired than they would be if she hadn't done that. So we'll see if that plays to her favor later. Certainly trying to find a way to stay ahead of that Scoville kid if she can. With the bell ringing, 16 to go. Catherine Wade easily number 88 on the lead of the effort with 13 right in pursuit. I'd call easily as a favorite in this points race early on, as 13 is going to try to find a way to stay in every one of these sprints. Lucy Gilchrist has found the wheel, another one of our junior competitors. Number 22 is third in the lineup, trying to hold on to the speed of Lingwood and Wade Easley. Lingwood up and away, showing the kind of strength she has. There's a lot of riders trying to get their way, scrambling from the middle of the field. Maybe a little bit too late to get up to the front. Lingwood for 5. Nice move for Darlene for 3, Wade Easley for 2, and I'm too close to call for 1 as between Luther and Snobelin for the single point. We'll get the official points here shortly, as that last position was hard to call. Here goes another big move. This time it's going to be Julie Peterson. This is encouraging Kelly to go out there as well. She says, yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's go. So Darlene trying to match the quick speed here. Julie Peterson, she accelerates quickly off the front, enough so to give herself quite a big gap. And now Kelly's got to climb her way back there. And the rest of the field also now in a tight spot. Julie seeing 13 to go, a couple more laps before any points. Jenna Lingwood, your leader, with 8. Diane Snobelin and Kelly Darlene are in a tie for second overall with 5 points apiece. Wade Easley's got 2, good for 4th, and 2 riders with 1, Scoville and Luther. Right now, the story is the position of this lead rider. Julie just making a huge move here. May have been the one. We didn't see it in the scratch. Not a race that favors the endurance as much, but maybe that's what Julie's got to show, is this kind of endurance move. Great card to play here in the middle of this race. Still on the effort at 12 to go. Number 227. An impressive ride from her here at this middle stage of the points race. The field still moving along pretty well. That's Christine Diebler. That is Samantha Doran, 218 in the green with the light green helmet at the front for a moment. Doing some great work to pull the field back and closer to the position of our leader, who just now enters the home straight. Points next lap for this effort. 227 underway for 5. Next time around, and here's our field also getting the bell. Next time they're fighting for 3 points. Diane Snobelin at the lead, number 220. She's in second place overall right now in a tie with Kelly Darlene with 5 points. She swings up to reset some things as we keep our eye on our leader in the position right now, trying to work her way into this points race. Julie Peterson getting some help from the beverage garden. She comes across. Come on now. Solo move. 5 points. Monster Racing, proud to see that happen. And on the home straight, the junior showing some dominance here in the points race. Whoa, Lingwood coming in, I think, might have found 2, barely over Snowblend, but it's Darlene that picks up the big 3 points out of the field. Very critical for her as she's trying to hold on to the top 3 position. We'll get our points totals again here in a moment. I think after that, it'll still be Lingwood by just a hair at the top of this race. But with where Julie's at, that might change. 9 to go for 227. Not looking in the same form as she was a few laps ago, but that's because she's now kind of got that gap. She just has to maintain. Not trying to climb anymore, just maintain that position for a few more point sprints. Field's rotating around riders, keeping the pace pretty consistent. Not a huge drive right now to go catch this. Some of the biggest drivers have been doing a lot of work early and maybe need to recover, as now Lingwood's starting to feel like maybe I got to do some work to get back in this as she starts pulling the field forward. And here's Julie again. Look at that gap. I mean, it's almost a half a lap at this point. Great work from the solo rider. Coming up from Oregon for the Monster Racing team. Jerry Baker Jr. is number 1 is Kelly Darlene. Still in this race after picking up 3 in that last sprint. Puts her in 2nd overall as our official points totals now. Jenna Lingwood in the lead with 10. Kelly Darlene in 2nd with 8. Diane Snowblend in 3rd with 6. Julie Peterson in 4th with 5. Catherine Wade Easley in 6th with 2. Scoville and Luther both still have 1 point. After another point sprint, Julie Peterson will have 10 if she's still out here, meaning she will likely be in top 3 and continue to work her way towards the top spot if she can stay out here. Lingwood fanning out to the right-hand side. Dan Snowblend near the front, the rider in white with the black and yellow helmet. Riding high in the field now, above the blue line. That is going to give our race leader, or position leader, I should say, even more advantage. Just guaranteeing the points are going to come her way. More points next time. 5 points next lap for Julie. As the bell rings again at 6 to go. Pure athleticism here on display. This is the hard way to win a race. Just go, go, go. No break, no rest, no team. Just me. On to the home straight. Here comes the bell for 3 points next time around for the field. 3, 2, and 1 still available to the field. Next time around, 6 to go. As Heather Nielsen, number 5, has the lead spot for the group. Keep your eye on this field as the development here will be interesting. Julie coming across to get the 5 here shortly, but the sprint down the back straight is Nielsen bringing the field up to speed. Here comes Kelly again out of the field, trying to find 3 more. Diane Snowblend trying to chase down the wheel. Jenna Lingwood accelerating. Luther looking for the move. It's Darlene from the front again. Snowblend accelerating, trying to find 3. Snowblend for 3. Darlene for 2. Jenna Lingwood for 1. That should bring Julie Peterson, the rider, now over in turn 3. We're watching up to 10 points. And with Lingwood getting 1 point in the last sprint, I believe Lingwood's still the leader. Diane Snowblend should have 9, I believe, and Kelly Darlene up to 10 points. So it's going to be actually very close across the board. The real problem here for those riders in the field is that Julie's on line to get 10 in the final sprint and win this thing, no question. Now the question is who's going to get 2nd place in the overall point standings. Again, part of this race, one of the challenges is the medals aren't across every rider. We're not all fighting for the same gold here. So in terms of medaling, there's definitely some inner competition going on here between Snowblend and Lingwood that's keeping them from doing much more work to catch this great solo break from Julie, who continues to position herself well. The field kind of watching each other rather than the lead now of Julie, knowing that the race is for 2nd overall in the points. She's actually made some ground on them as she's more than a half lap up from the field. And even if they were trying to catch her, I don't want to take anything from this rider. She's moving quick, and that's a great pace from her. Consistent, great tempo from that rider. She is really showing some incredible athleticism here at the Velodrome. Getting some more encouragement as she's just about done with this impressive ride tonight. 2 to go, Julie, 2 to go. starting to stare down the back end of this field. Might even start getting a little like excited about how close that field looks for her work here. Down the back straight, it's Lingwood starting to pull things around at the blue line. Now she comes down to the sprinter's lane, kind of brings that second line up and over the top. The field also seeing 2 to go. We'll get one more call on the points here, as Lingwood has 11, Darlene and Peterson with 10, Snoblin 9. Just 2 points total separating the top 4 riders. And here she goes on this final, what will be a victory lap, on her way to pick up the final 10 and guaranteeing her own gold medal. The field, though, this is the race for second. It's between Snoblin and Lingwood is going to be the most interesting, as well as Darlene. Those 3 riders are kind of all within a point of each other to end this thing. Snoblin, the rider in white, the one up near the rail, starting to pick things up. Darlene a couple wheels back. Here comes the bell. Lingwood and Darlene starting to pick up the pace. Snoblin is on a big move here. Off she goes. The crowd here is giving Julie an applause for finishing her effort and picking up the 10 points. On the back straight, though, watch this sprint for 6. As it's Snoblin all the way back from the line, just trying to hold off the charge from anybody else. It's Kelly Darlene trying to get back in this thing. Scoville making a big final sprint of it as well. Around onto the home straight. A move from Snoblin will secure 10 points and second place overall. Scoville, 6 points, pardon me. 4 points for Danny Scoville. I think Kelly Darlene found 2 more in that one, which means I think in the overall standing she will be in third. And a nice race for the women today in this points race. And one more time for Julie Peterson on the solo break effort. Nice ride tonight, all on your own. That's the athleticism. Great preparation, good race today. Coming on out, our next group to the track. It's the elite men and junior 17, 18-year-old men points race, and our final competition for this evening. Following this race will be a brief pause and then podium presentation for our medalists for today's session. All right, our final race tonight should be another great one. We've got the elite men joined also by 17-year-old junior men. So there's 2 medal groups within this and a good-sized field going out for 30 laps of points racing, 6x5. Currently in the neutral, going to start at turn 4 if they're still all together. In this final great race tonight, should be a good one. We'll look forward to some more racing tomorrow morning. Some of our team will be taking the day off, but we will be hosting time trials tomorrow morning for Fred's race, and then we'll continue with another racing session tomorrow evening starting at 6 p.m. Session number 3 is looking very similar to tonight's program. Different groups will get an opportunity to race some of the races you saw today. Again, that starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then the final session, team sprint, team pursuit, and the sprint tourney Sunday morning. The Laser launches an attack on lap number 1. Opening things up fast. Kids these days can't wait for anything. Kaiser still on the front of this one. Just trying to get it moving quick, see how the field responds. He knows he's got riders in his wheel here, so he's probably going to pull up, and there he does, up to the close to the rail, and scrambling to get back into single file formation. Everybody's made it up there. So our field kind of resetting and regrouping for a moment. Matthew Brady now in the yellow takes the lead. Been trying to call favorites tonight. It's been difficult. In that last field, I didn't have a lot. I didn't have my scouting report on Julie. Didn't know what she had ready to show tonight. I'm more familiar with more of the riders in this field, but that doesn't mean that it still makes it easy for me to call it. Certainly, number 4, Andy Baker, in a points race is going to try and show up big time. So I'm always interested to see how he shows up on a night like this. We saw already Matty Hers. Carl Hofer, number 23, kind of snuck his way into this season and then started to show up big time week after week, and especially in these longer races. He's wearing number 23 in the red jersey, about 6-7 riders back right now. That's certainly someone to watch in these longer races too. Number 27 for the Fountain Cycling Guild, Chris Wilson. If the field stays together, riders like Matty Hers, Dave Richter, definitely all I would favor heavily. And I've seen the Rocket actually go off on some of these breaks as well. So he's an overall strong contender, well-rounded. Another one to kind of keep an eye on. I'll be interested to see, not after this first sprint, but really after the second. Bell at 16 to go. Bell, 26 to go. Bell, 26 to go. Points next time. Points next time. That's Brando for Fountain Cycling Guild, number 6 on the front. Again, this first sprint, giving a chance for some riders to get the early lead. Oh, Brennan Russell, I think, for 5. Ludamax for 3. That's number 7, the Rocket, Dave Richter, for 2. And it looks like Matty Hers snuck in for 1 on the back end of that, number 15 in the all-white. Everybody else now all stretched out, responding to the speed. But here's what you get with these strong riders at the front. Matty's happy to jump in on this too. They're just going to keep going. They don't want to rest after the sprint. They'll use this as encouragement to get going. They're starting to create some breaks, but Carl Hofer's right there to sniff it out and work to bring it together again. He does not want to see this get away. So number 23 for the Audi Racing Squad does enough to close things down in a hurry. Your leader after one sprint, Brandon Russell. Number 6 for the Fountain Cycling Guild. For Beat Cycling is Ludo Max, with number 35 is in second with 3. Richter, number 7, also in the dark green of Fountain Cycling, is in third with 2. And Matty Hers, riding in the all-white kit, number 15, near the back of that lineup now, is the rider in fourth with 1. Here's the first name I called, just because I know, again, this is a race he's going to try and show up big time for. Is number 4, finds himself at the front to try to keep it fast and maybe thin this field out a little bit, as we do have a few off the back. At 22 to go, Bell next lap. That's number 37. Been a little quiet in calling his name. Sam Frigo of the Gene Johnson cycling team makes his presence felt at the front. Bunching up here out of turn 3 and 4. Bell's ringing for points. That was Eric Deertons again of the Cycles West team for BC, number 45 there at the front for a moment. The field's starting to overtake, and big speed here coming out now down the back straight. Bowie coming in to find a place in this race now, the rider for Liquid Velo. But it's going to be the Rocket on the outside, challenging. I think it's 7 for 5. 3 gets 3 points. Mario Sandoval, I believe, gets 2. And then I believe number 45 for 1 point unofficially. Deerton's our rider out of BC. We'll wait for the official call to confirm. Those 5 riders sit above the blue line. This lets the majority of the riders catch right back on. Now here goes Deertons now, number 45. Another rider I wouldn't have a lot of familiarity with in terms of what he brings to this field. Looks like he doesn't need to rest either, so 45 is going to put in a dig right now and see what he can do with it. Brings with him 1 rider, and off we go. These 2 sort of sneaking away, aren't allowed to get too far. The field brings them back together. That's Chris Wilson now at the front, number 27. Gathering back up again as we hit turn 2. Richter in the lead with 7. Russell in second with 5. Lunamax in third with 3 and a tie with John Bowie, both with 3 points. Super Mario with 2 and 5th overall. Matty Hers and Eric Deertons with 1 each. Everybody else looking for their first points. There's that Speedy Jr. in the mix, trying to be near the front of this field. But it's going to be Baker now that tries to establish the tempo from the front. As he pulls out of the way, Sam Frigo decides to abort as well. Nobody else wanted to do. There's one that wants to pull as well. Hofer will reaccelerate things. As the bell's ringing, Audi Racing finds themselves at the front. Number 7's pretty happy to be there, and he might just keep this sprinter's lane for himself. Oh, that second lane's wide open. Bowie could move into it. He's starting to move in that position now. Good timing with the rider for Liquid Velo, but he brings with him a couple other savvy riders that are right there with him. Couple of moves from the middle of the field as well. Richter's going to be nowhere near this one as it comes and sorts out. Brandon Russell, really well-timed sprint from him. Russell for 5. Bowie almost held on to it. It'll be 3 for Bowie. I think it's Matthew Brady, number 40, for 2. Maybe Sam Frigo for 1 on the inside. It was either him or Matty Hers. Sounds like I might have had the wrong idea of it there, so Matty maybe for the 1 instead. A little midway attack here between these two riders. It looks like Chris Wilson and Andy Baker taking their turn. At 13 to go. Officials still coordinating and confirming point standings from the last sprint. A few tight finishes there. Down the back straight, it's Baker and Wilson still together. A nice little gap here on the rest of the field as one rider in the gap trying to get up there, trying to bridge up. It looks like that might be Sam Frigo trying to make his way. 12 to go. This could be a very dangerous move for the field. This is where these two assert themselves. Chris Wilson and Andy Baker, very good together. A good match. Our points totals coming in here with 10 for Russell in the lead. Richter in second with 7. Bowie in third with 6. Max in fourth with 3. Several riders with 2 points. Sandoval, Hers, Brady. One rider with 1 is Deertons. Bell's ringing for points at 11 to go. Chris Wilson, number 27 on the lead for Andy Baker, number 4. These two will now most likely just ride across the line cooperatively rather than try to compete with one another. We'll see if they've already agreed to those terms or if they're still kind of in contract negotiations. Oh, it looks like not. Here we go. He pulls up, but Chris Wilson was looking to take advantage. So they will be competing at this point in the race still for the points. Oh, Wilson falls back in. Chris Wilson falls back in for the 3 points as Andy Baker finds 5. The sprint for 2, Sandoval over Deertons, number 45. Several groupings on the track. We'll go kind of in order. We have our lead group of 2 in under turn 3 now. There's a catching group of about 4 or 5 riders now starting to break apart as we kind of have some riders popping out. That's Ludo Max trying to make his way up. The field just now coming out of turn 3, starting to snatch back up those bridging riders. And then we have a few stragglers kind of off behind them. But the leaders in position overall still Chris Wilson, number 27 in the green with that white helmet on the back straight. Right behind him, Andy Baker. After that last sprint, it's still Brandon Russell in the lead with 10. David Richter still in second with 7. And Bowie still in third with 6. Andy Baker moves up into 4th place with his first point sprint of the night with 5. Sandoval now moves up with 4 points. Ludo Max with 3, Chris Wilson with 3, Matty Hers with 2, Matthew Brady with 2, and Eric Deartons with 2. A lot of riders with points. The top right now is decently separated with 10 points. Has a nice little cushion, but nowhere near the top of the race right now in terms of getting more points. This is all going to go towards these two, as Andy Baker and Chris Wilson continue to stay away from the rest of the riders. They still have 2 more point sprints to sort between the 2 of them. This effort from these 2 has really paid off nicely, and it will continue to as they continue to chip away at the lead of the riders back in the field. Your race leader, Russell, number 6, Brandon Russell in the dark green, is down in the bottom of the field, mid-group, has 10 points. Next closest rider is Dave Richter, number 7, his teammate, followed closely by John Bowie. Richter has 7, Bowie with 6. So 10, 7, and 6 at the top of this field. Still really anybody's race, to be clear. Points next time. Baker and Wilson here getting the bell. And the field eligible for 2 and 1 next lap. Bell's ringing at 6 to go. Let's see if Baker and Wilson come to any sort of agreement here. Maybe because Baker got the 5 last time, he's going to give the nod to Chris this time, or are they going to fight it out? It looks like indeed it's still bad blood here. The sprint for 5. Baker is going to get it. Chris Wilson for 3. And here comes Bowie out of the field with a quick acceleration. Bowie for 2. And Deartons finds another 1. Kind of just always involved there at the front of the field as Deartons picks up another point in that last effort. 1 sprint to go at 1 to go. And now Baker's trying to drop. He's done with the teamwork. Because I think I've got enough to just carry the day. If he can get another 10, that's his victory, and that's a win in his back pocket. No question. And of course, after finding the 5 points, Andy Baker is now in a tie in the lead with Russell. They both have 10 points. So as long as Baker can stay up here, he's in a good place to win the race. The field, it's got 1 rider out in front. It's still Chris Wilson. Everybody else is trying to chase to catch back on him. That's Carl Hofer doing the work for the field, the rider in red. Here's Andy Baker crossing the line at 3 to go. And he is well and away. I don't think the field finds this. 3 to go. Number 15, Matty Hers looks across the track to see Andy Baker's position. Brandon Russell with 10, Andy Baker with 10, the tie for the lead. John Bowie in second with 8, Dave Richter in third with 7, Chris Wilson in 5th with 6. After that, Sandoval 4, Ludo Max, Eric Deartons both with 3, Matty Hers, Matthew Brady both with 2. Right now the field hesitating. I don't think they're motivated to catch. They know that Andy's gone. It's now a race in the field for how the rest of these points are going to be sorted out. The most interesting race here, I think, would be between Brandon Russell, currently in the lead with 10, and John Bowie in third, currently with 8. That's Russell number 6 and Bowie number 3. Nice move off the front of the field, though, starting to start things early. The bell's ringing for Andy. He's on his way for 10 points and likely the win of this race. Again, the real race to watch, the development is going to be out of this field. Coming onto the home straight, the kid's trying to make a move. It's Kaiser out of nowhere making a sprint for points, number 18. Here goes Richter, number 7. And Kaiser's still well and away on this sprint. An impressive move for the young rider. An acceleration for Richter is coming in hot, though. We'll watch Baker for a moment as he comes to finish his race. 10 points more for Baker and your champ in the points race today. 20 points to his name. And the sprint coming down the home straight. It's still Kaiser on the lead of it. Here comes the Rocket. He had enough for the second effort. 6 points for the Rocket. Should give him second place overall. Bowie finds a few points. Should hold on, I believe, for third. Yes, indeed. I believe that call should stand overall. We'll let the officials sort that out. That will do it for racing tonight. That was our final competitive event. We have podiums to do in just a few minutes. We will need a little time. Fred's race can be complicated. We got to figure things out, sort things, and be ready to present those medals. We want to thank everybody once again for coming out and joining us here at the Velodrome for racing. We've got another session tomorrow morning. May not be the highest action experience. It's time trials, riders one at a time going against the clock. Not always the most thrilling thing, but an opportunity for more medals and, of course, an important competitive event for many of our riders. And tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we'll kick things back off again with more evening racing. Lots of mass start events like you saw tonight. Should be making for a great time. Right now, we wait for the podiums to get started on the infield as our action's kind of cooling down here. Beverage garden's still open. Last orders over at the food trucks. If you need to pick up a last-minute bite to eat, don't be afraid to come on over.
Just told me they have 20 pies left. So people that
Whoa.
just finished, if you want food, run to the food truck. They have 20 pies left. Ready, set, go.
And what do they get if they win tomorrow? Oh, wait, no, a pie. Got it. The right to buy a pie. And if you're online on the stream and you've been enjoying the service we bring to you, don't forget, it would be really helpful if you could just scroll down, just as easy as that is. Minimize the window for a second, scroll down, hit that big thumbs up. We really appreciate you sticking around and cheering on our athletes from afar. Subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're here. Thanks for everybody in attendance tonight. Had a great first session of Fred's race. The regional championship is underway. Our second session tomorrow morning will kick back off. I'll be off the mic for a little bit as we get set for podiums. My thanks to you for joining us. I look forward to hosting you again for more great racing here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.
Corey, are you announcing these, or am I? You want to go in order of the program and just go for it?
Okay, I think I can do a lot of this. If I make any mistakes, Amara can yell at me via the wireless microphone. But I will go in order of program, which means that we would start with our podiums at the beginning of today's session, which begins with the Elite Men Madison, then the Elite Women and Junior Women Madison. So we'll do those 2 Madison races first, and then we'll work our way down through scratch races, the keirins, and so on. So up first, we'll call our top 3 teams in today's Elite Men Madison to the podium area, please. I hope they're ready. Getting on some of the jerseys even, that's cool. How about a 30-second call here, and then we'll get started with the Elite Men and the Elite Women / Junior Women Madison finals, or podiums. Shortly after that, the Junior Men 15 through 16 scratch race podiums. All right, first up here we have for our first event today in the Elite Men Madison points race. In 3rd place, the team of Carl Hofer and Chris Wilson. And in the silver medal, our 2nd place finishers, the team of Dave Richter and Brandon Russell. And at the top of today's competition for the Elite Men Madison, your champions and the gold medalists, Maddie Hers and Andy Baker. Congratulations to our Elite Men Madison podium. For the Elite Women and Junior Women, I will bring up those podiums next. On deck, the Junior Men and Women, juniors 15 to 16-year-olds, will get you next. For the 17 to 18-year-old junior men in the gold medal, your team of Henry Kaiser and Will Fowler. In the chamois butter purple jerseys. Gotta love it. Congratulations to our junior men. And the junior women gold medalists, the team of Kelly Darlene and Danny Scoville. For the Elite Women, your gold medalists, the team of Amara Edwards and Jenna Lingwood.
About 2nd place. Emily and Chris.
Not according to my sheet. Okay. You just don't want to be alone on the podium, Amara? Is that what's going on? Okay, I hope the junior 15 to 16-year-old competitors are more ready than these riders are. Because my goodness. Let's do our junior 15, 16-year-old women next for their scratch race. For the women 15 to 16-year-old scratch race, your bronze medalist for the J. Baker Juniors team, Bella Meja. Also for the J. Baker Juniors, your silver medalist, Lucy Gilchrist.
Corey, we're not podiuming this because it's not the Omnium. Good job. Get out of here. They only do an Omnium. I'm sorry. Just throwing things at you. 15, 16's only Omnium. Sorry.
Okay, up next would be the keirin finals for Masters men. So we'll go to the 35 through 49 race. And we'll start with the 35 through 39 riders. Keirins, be ready for podiums, please. Keirins for the Masters men. I may just have to call by category and allow those folks to self-sort because I don't know. I don't have it listed what age categories folks are. So up first, I have the 35 through 39 finishers up onto the podium. We'll get you guys sorted out. Next up will be 40 through 44. And Mike Ritter, get up there. Ritter. Okay. Cool. Moving on to the Masters. Oh. Is it coming? Okay, that means we'd move on to the 45 through 54. I'm kind of in the same boat, so up first would be 45 through 49.
I guess just announce it as is. No one wants medals. Announce it as the finish. all together.
All right, so in third place for the Masters 45 to 54 in the bronze medal would be Paul Rackness. Your silver medalist in second place is Hyun Lee. And taking the gold, your champion today for the Masters 45 to 54, Keirin, Hans Löffelholz. Masters 55 and up, we've got our top three I'll call as well. In the bronze medal today, our third place finisher, Ken Dong. The silver medalist, your second place finisher, Vern Cole. And your champion for the Masters 55 plus Keirin, Eric Waterman. Scratch race for the all women would be next. I'll try to bring that up, and I'll start with the juniors and work my way through.
Are there ages listed, Corey?
Haven't pulled it up yet.
Because I have a handwritten list of who is racing Masters if you want to make a note.
Nope, I got it here.
No, so some of those were racing elites.
Okay.
So the only ones racing Masters were Catherine, Heather, Meg, Julie, and Nancy. Everyone else was elite, and then of course the juniors. Danielle was an elite. This is a mess. So as the only junior racing in the junior field, Kelly, get up there.
Based on that information, I can at least call a top three for the elite then. Catch me if I'm wrong. I believe in third place, your bronze medalist for the elite women is Danny Scoville. In second, your silver medalist for Pointis Nokian team, Jenna Lingwood. And the elite women champion, coming down from the Burnaby Velodrome Club, is Diane Snoblin.
Was that the points or scratch, Corey?
Yeah, good call. Here are your points champions. I'm all out of order. I'll get the scratch load up here in a second. Okay. So in the scratch race, I would need the names of the people that are competing for Masters before I make this announcement.
Right. I had listed Catherine, Heather, Meg, Julie, and Nancy were racing in their Masters categories. But I think that means Kelly gets another gold. Get up there. Why not? Yes, Julie, so Catherine, Heather, Meg, Julie, and Nancy were racing in their Masters categories. How about I finish the points because I have it up?
Go for it.
The women are really hard. Okay. So that means Julie's on the top. And the 50 to 54. Catherine Wade Easley is second in the 50 to 54. Yeah, fantastic. And then Heather in the 40 to 44. And I believe Meg in the 60 to 64. Meg still here? Yeah. Yeah! All right, that's the woman points, I believe.
Okay, I think I can do the scratch race then. We already did our junior champions, so I'll do the elite women for the scratch race since we have those folks up here ready to go. In the bronze medal for the scratch race, our third place finisher is Danny Scoville. Your silver medalist in the scratch race for the women, Diane Snoblin. And in the gold medal, your champion, Jenna Lingwood. I'll do 50 through 54, which is silver medal going to Catherine Wade Easley, and your gold medal going to Julie Peterson.
Keep it going, Corey.
40 through 44, Heather Nielsen with a gold medal. Meg Mountainer, 60 through 64, you're a gold medalist. And Nancy Dahlberg, Nancy, I think, was in the silver for the 60 through 64, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I need to do some more. I think I need to do a scratch race for the elite men and junior men. All right, I think I have our top 3 for the junior men in the scratch, 17, 18-year-olds. It will go the bronze medal. 3rd place for the junior men is Colin Stotts. Your silver medalist in 2nd place, Henry Kaiser. And riding for the Jerry Baker Jr. squad, your champion for the 17-year-old men sprint, or scratch, excuse me, David Magidson. All right, so moving on past the junior 15 to 16-year-olds. Masters men 35 through 54 points race. I will try to do 35 through 39 if I can. Stand by.
We need the elites in the elite 17, 18s.
Yep, and we also need master men. Okay, in the Masters men points race, in the bronze, or excuse me, yes, 35 to 39-year-olds for the Masters men points race. In the bronze is Mike Ritter. In the silver medal, Scott Grinsell. And the 35 to 39 champion for the points race, Nolan Adams. Last call for Ritter to the podium. Masters men 40 through 44 in the points coming up next. And I just got one, the winner of the race, and of course the champion, Maddie Hers. In the 50 through 54 category, I have our bronze medalist as Haldy for the single ball velo team. Your silver medalist, Paul Rackness. And the gold medalist for Burnaby Velodrome Club is Hans Lovelholz. And I apologize that I don't see a posted result for the Masters men 55 plus. Elite men and junior men points race. We'll start with the junior men.
Corey, can you do the elite men's scratch race? I think you missed them.
Copy that. Elite men's scratch race. Copy that. All right. call it. This is for the elite men. Sorry, I jumped right over that one. So the elite men for the scratch race are top 3. In bronze, your third place finisher is Mario Sandoval. Your silver medalist in second place, Andy Baker. And the champion in the gold medal, Maddie Hers. Okay, points race. I'm going to be a little slow for the juniors here because I don't have ages, so give me 1 sec. We'll do junior men first. All right, in the bronze medal for the junior men in the points race, Itai Malikoff. Her silver medalist, David Magidson. And in the gold medal for the junior men points race from the Jerry Baker Juniors team, Henry Kaiser. And our final group to the podium will be the elite men from the points race, I believe, unless I'm told otherwise. Here's bronze medalist for the elite men points race, John Bowie. In the silver medal, David Richter. And your champion for the points race, riding for the Broadmark Realty team, Andy Baker.
And I think we're missing that 50 to 54. If you are still here, let's figure it out.
The 55 and up points race? I don't have it.
Yes.
That's the one. Yep, don't have it.